Sirach chapter 1. Inasmuch as many and great truths have been given to us through the law, the prophet and the authors who follow them, for which the instruction and wisdom of Israel merit praise, it is the duty of those who read the scripture not only to become knowledgeable themselves, but also to use their love of the learning in speech and in writing to help others less familiar. So my grandfather Jesus, who had long devoted himself to the study of the law, the prophet, and the rest of the book of our ancestors, and had acquired great familiarities with them, was moved to write something himself regarding instruction and wisdom. He did this so that those who love learning might, by accepting what he had written, make even greater progress in living according to the law. You are invited, therefore, to read it with good will and attention, with indulgence for any failure on our part, despite the honest effort in the interpretation of the particular passages. For words spoken originally in Hebrew do not have the same effect when they are translated into other languages. That is true not only of this book but of the law itself, the prophesied, and the rest of the books, which differ no little when they are read in the originals. I arrived in Egypt in the 38th year of the reign of the king Euergetes. And while there I have access to no little learning, I therefore consider it my duty to devote some diligence and industry to the translation of this book. During this time, I applied my skill for many sleepless hours to complete the book and publish it for those living abroad who wish to acquire learning and are disposed to live their lives according to the law. God in gift of the wisdom. All wisdom is from the Lord and remains with him forever. The sand of the sea, the drop of the rain, the day of the eternity, who can count them? Heaven's height, the earth extend, the abyss, and the wisdom, who can explore them? Before all other things, wisdom was created, and prudent understanding from eternities. The root of the wisdom, to whom has it been revealed, her subtleties, who knows them? There is but one wise and truly awesome, seated upon his throne, the Lord. It is he who created her, saw her, and measured her, poured her forth upon all his works. Upon every living thing according to his bounty, lavished her upon those who love him. Fear of the Lord is wisdom. The fear of the Lord is glory and exaltation, gladness and a festive crown. The fear of the Lord rejoices the heart, giving gladness, joy, and long life. Those who fear the Lord will be happy at the end. Even on the day of the death, they will be blessed. The beginning of the wisdom is to fear the Lord, who is created with the faithful in the wombs. With the gathered she was created from of old, and with their descendants she will keep faith. The fullness of the wisdom is to fear the Lord. She inebriates them with her fruit. Their entire house shall fill with the choice of food, their granaries with her produce. The crown of the wisdom is the fear of the Lord, flowering with peace and perfect health. Knowledge and full understanding she rains down. She heightens the glory of those who possess her. The root of the wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Her branches are long alive. The fear of the Lord drives away sins. Where it abides, it turns back all angers. Unjust anger can never be justified. Anger pulls a person to utter ruins. Until the right time, the patient remain calm, then cheerfulness comes back to them. Until the right time, they hold back their words, then the lip of the many will tell up their good sense. Among wisdom, treasure is the model for knowledge, but godliness is an abomination to the sinners. If you desire wisdom, keep the commandment, and the Lord will bestow her upon you. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and discipline, faithfulness and humility are his delight. Do not disobey the fear of the Lord, do not approach it with a duplicity of heart. Do not be hypocrite before others, over your lips keep watch. Do not exalt yourself, lest you fall and bring dishonor upon yourself. For then the Lord will reveal your secret and cast you down in the midst of the assemblies, because you did not approach the fear of the Lord, and your heart was full of deceit. Sirach chapter 2. Trust in God. My child, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for trials. Be sincere of heart and steadfast, and do not be impetuous in the time of the adversity. Cling to him, do not leave him, that you may prosper in your last days. Accept whatever happens to you in periods of the humiliation. Be patient. For in fire gold is tested and chosen in the crucible of humiliations. Trust in God and he will help you. Make your ways straight and hope in him. You that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. Do not stray lest you fall. You that fear the Lord, trust in him, and your reward will not be lost. You that fear the Lord, hope for good things, for lasting joy and mercy. Consider the generation long past and see, has anyone trusted in the Lord and been disappointed? Has anyone persevered in his fear and been forsaken? Has anyone called upon him and been ignored? For the Lord is compassionate and merciful, forgives sins and saves in the time of the troubles. What a timid heart and drooping hands to the sinner who walks a double path. What the faint of the heart, for they do not trust and therefore have no shelters. What to you that have lost hope, what will you do at the Lord of visitations? Those who fear the Lord do not disobey his words. Those who love him keep his ways. Those who fear the Lord seek to praise him. Those who love him are fair with his law. Those who fear the Lord prepare their heart and humble themselves before him. Let us fall into the hand of the Lord and not into the hand of the mortals. For equal to majesty is his mercy, and equal to his name are his works. Sirach chapter 3. Responsibility to parents. Children, listen to me, your father. Act accordingly that you may be saved. For the Lord set father in honor over his children and confirms a mother authority over her sons. Those who honor their father atone for sins. These are riches who respect their mother. Those who honor their father will have joy in their own children, and when they pray, they are heard. Those who respect their father will live a long life. Those who obey the Lord honor their mothers. Those who fear the Lord honor their father and serve their parents as masters. In word and deed, honor your father, that all blessing may come to you. A father blessing gives a person firm roots, but a mother calls uproot the growing plant. Do not glory in your father's disgrace, for there is no glory to you. Of Father glory is glory also for oneself. There multiply sin who demean their mother. My son, be steadfast in honoring your father. Do not grieve them as long as he lives. Even if his mind fails, be considerate of him. Do not revile him because you are in your prime. Kindness to a father will not be forgotten. It will serve as a sin offering. It will take a lasting root. In time of the trouble, it will be recalled to your advantage. Like a worm's open frost, it will melt away your sins. Those who neglect their father are like blasphemers. Those who provoke their mother are accursed by their creators. Humilities. My son, conduct your affair with humility, and you will be loved more than a giver of gift. Humble yourself, the more the greater you are, and you will find mercy in the sight of the God. For great is the power of the Lord, by the humble he is glorified. What is too sublime for you, do not seek, do not reach into things that are hidden from you. What is committed to you, pay heed to. What is hidden is not your concerns. In matters that are beyond you do not matter when you have been shown more than you can understand. Indeed, many are the conceit of the human beings, evil imagination lead them astray. Docilities. Without the pupil of the eye, right is missing. Without knowledge, wisdom is missing. A stubborn heart will fare better in the end. Those who love danger will perish in it. A stubborn heart will have many a hurt. Adding sin to sin is madness. When the proud are afflicted, there is no cure, for they are offshoot of the evil plant. The mind of the wise appreciates the proverbs, and the ear that listens to wisdom rejoices. Alms for the poor. As water quenches a flaming fire, so almsgiving atone for sins. The kindness people have done crosses their fast rate on. Should they stumble, they will find support. Sirach chapter 4. My child, do not mock the life of the poor. Do not keep needy eyes waiting. Do not grieve the hungry, nor anger the needy. Do not aggravate the heart already angry, not delay giving to the needy. A beggar request, do not reject, do not turn your face away from the poor. From the needy, do not turn your eyes, do not give them reason to curse you. If in their pain they cry out bitterly, their rock will hear the sound of their cries. Social conduct. Endear yourself to the assembly. Before the city ruler, bow your head. Give a hearing to the poor and return their greeting with deference. Deliver the oppressed from their oppressors. Right judgment should not repugnant to you. Be like a father to orphans and take the place of the husband to widows. Then God will call you his child, and he will be merciful to you and deliver you from the pit. The rewards of wisdom. Wisdom teaches her children and admonishes all who can understand her. Those who love her love life, those who seek her out win the Lord favors. Those who hold her fast will attain glory, and they shall abide in the blessing of the Lord. Those who serve her serve the Holy One. Those who love her, the Lord loves. Whoever obeys me will judge nations. Whoever listens to me will dwell in my inmost chambers. If they remain faithful, they will possess me. Their descendants too will inherit me. I'll work with them in disguise, and at first I'll test them with the trials. Fear and dread I'll bring upon them, and I'll discipline them with my constraints when their hearts are fully with me. Then I'll set them again on the straight path and reveal my secret to them. But if they turn away from me, I'll abandon them and deliver them over to robbers. Sincerity and justice. My son, watch for the right time, fear what is evil, do not bring shame upon yourself. There is a shame heavy with guilt, and the shame that brings glory and respect. Show no favoritism to your own discredit. Let no one intimidate you to your own downfalls. Do not refrain from speaking at the proper time, and do not hide your wisdom. For wisdom becomes known through speech, and knowledge through the tongue's response. Never speak against the truth, but of your own ignorance be ashamed. Do not be ashamed to acknowledge your sins, and do not struggle against the rushing stream. Do not abase yourself before a fool. Do not refuse to do so before rulers. Even to the death, fight for what is right, and the Lord will do better for you. Do not be haughty in your speech, or lazy or slack in your deeds. Do not be like a lion at home, or sly and suspicious with your servant. Do not let your hand be open to receive, but clenched when it is time to give. Sirach chapter 5, against presumptions. Do not rely on your rights or say, I have the power. Do not rely on your strength in following the desires of your heart. Do not say, who can prevail against me, for the Lord will exact the punishment. Do not say, I have sinned, yet what has happened to me? For the Lord is slow to anger. Do not be so confident of the forgiveness that you add sin upon sin. Do not say, his mercy is great, my many sins he will forgive. For mercy and anger alike are with him, his wrath comes to rest on the wicked. Do not delay turning back to the Lord, do not put it off day after day. For suddenly his wrath will come forth, at the time of the vengeance you will perish. Do not rely on deceitful words, for it will be no help on the day of the last. Use and abuse of the tongue. Do not win now in every wind, nor walk in every path. Be steadfast regarding your knowledge, and let your speech be constant. Be swift to hear, but slow to answer. If you can answer your neighbor, if not, place your hand over your mouth. Honor and dishonor through speaking, the tongue can be your downfall. Do not be called double-tongued, and with your tongue do not slander a neighbor. For shame has been created for the deep, and sore disgrace for the double-tongued. In little or in much, do not act corruptly. Sirach chapter 6. Do not be a foe instead of the friend. A bad name, disgrace, and dishonor you will inherit. Thus the wicked double-tongued, unruly passions. Do not fall into the grip of your passion. Rust like a fire, it consumes your strength. It will eat your lips and destroy your fruit, and you will be left like a dry tree. For fierce passion destroys its owner and makes him the sport of his enemies. True friendship. Pleasant speech multiplies a friend, and glorious lips friendly greetings. Let those who are friendly to you be many, but one in 1,000 you are confident. When you gain friends, gain them through testing, and do not be quick to trust them. For there are friends when it suits them, but they will not be around in the time of the trouble. Another is a friend who turns into an enemy and tears up the core to your disgrace. Others are friends, table companions, but they cannot be found in the time of the affliction. When things go well, they are your other self and loaded over your servants. If disaster comes upon you, they turn against you and hide themselves. Stay away from your enemies and be on guard with your friends. Faithful friends are a sturdy shelter. Whoever finds one finds a treasure. Faithful friends are beyond the price. No amount can balance their worth. Faithful friends are life-saving medicines. Those who fear God will find them. Those who fear the Lord enjoy stable friendship, for as they are, so will their neighbors be. Blessing of wisdom. My child, from youth choose discipline, and when you have a gray hair, you will find wisdom. As though plowing and sowing, draw close to her, then wait for her bountiful crops. For in cultivating her you will work but little, and soon you will eat her fruits. She is a lap ground to the fool, the stupid cannot abide hers. She will be like a burdensome stone to them, and they will not delay in casting her aside. For discipline is like her name, she is not accessible to many. Listen, my child, and take my advice. Do not refuse my counsels. Put your feet into her fetters and your neck under her yokes. Bend your shoulder and carry her, and do not be irked at her bones. With all your soul, draw close to her, and with all your strength, keep her ways. Inquire and search, seek and find. When you get hold of her, do not let her go. Thus at last you will find rest in her, and she will become your joy. Her feathers will be a price of the strength, her snare a robe of the spun gold. Her yoke will be gold ornament, her bones purple cords. You will wear her as a robe of the glory, and bear her as a splendid crown. If you wish, my son, you can be wise. If you apply yourself, you can be shrewd. If you are willing to listen, you can run. If you pay attention, you can be instructed. Stand in the company of the elders, stay close to the whoever is wise. Be eager to hear every discourse, let no insightful saying escape you. If you see the intelligent, seek them out, let your feet rear away their doorsteps. Reflect on the law of the Most High, and let His commandment be your constant study. Then He will enlighten your mind and make you wise as you desire. Sirach chapter 7. Conduct toward God and the neighbors. Do not evil, and evil will not overtake you. Avoid the wickedness, and it will turn away from you. Do not sow the furrows of the injustice, lest you harvest it sevenfold. Do not seek from God authority, and from the keeping a place of honors. Do not parade your righteousness before the Lord and before the king. Do not flaunt your wisdom. Do not seek to become a judge if you do not have the strength to root out crime, lest you show fear in the presence of the prominent and mar your integrity. Do not be guilty of any evil before the city court, and disgrace yourself before the assemblies. Do not plot to repeat a sin even for one. You will not go unpunished. Do not say, He will appreciate my many gifts. The Most High God will accept my offerings. Do not be impatient in prayer or neglect the almsgivings. Do not ridicule the embittered. Remember, there is one who exalts and humbles. Do not plot mischief against your relative or against your friend and companions. Refuse to tell lie after lie, for it never results in good. Do not babble in assembly of the elders, or repeat the words of your prayer. Do not hate the hard work. Work was assigned by God. Do not esteem yourself more than your compatriots. Remember, His rest will not delay. More and more humble your pride. What weight morals is warmth. Duty of the family life, religion, and the charities. Do not borrow a friend for money, and a true brother for gold of the offers. Do not reject the sensual wife. A gracious wife is more precious than a pearl. Do not mistreat the servant who works faithfully or laborers who devote themselves to their task. Love wise servant as yourself. Do not refuse them freedom. Do you have livestock? Look after them. If they are defendable, keep them. Do you have sons? Correct them and cure their stubbornness in their early years. Do not have daughters, keep them chaste, and do not be indulgent to them. Give your daughter in marriage, and the worry comes to an end, but give her to a sensible man. Do you have a wife? Do not mistreat her, but do not trust the wife you hate. With your whole heart honor your father, your mother's birth pangs do not forget. Remember of these parents you were born, what can you give them for all they gave you? With all your soul, fear God and revere His praise. With all your strength, love your Maker and do not neglect His ministers. Honor God and respect the priest. Give him in portion as you have been commanded. First fruit and contribution, his portion of the victim and the holy offerings. To the poor also extend your hand, that your blessing may be complete. Give your gift to all the living, and do not withhold your kindness from the dead. Do not avoid those who weep, but mourn with those who mourn. Do not hesitate to visit the sick, because for the such things you will be allowed. When whatever you do, remember your last days, and you will never sin. Sirach chapter 8, the prudence in dealing with others. Do not contend with the mighty, lest you fall into their power. Do not quarrel with the rich, lest they pay out the price of your downfall. For gold has unsettled many, and wealth pervert the character of the princes. Do not quarrel with the loud mouths, or heap wood upon their fire. Do not associate with the senseless, lest your ancestors be insulted. Do not reproach one who turns away from sin. Remember, we all are guilty. Do not insult one who is old, for some of us will also grow old. Do not rejoice when someone dies. Remember, you are all to be gathered in. Do not regret the discourse of the wise, but busy yourself with their proverbs. For in this way you will acquire the training to stand in the presence of the princes. Do not reject the tradition of the elders which they have heard from their ancestors, for from it you will learn how to answer when the need arises. Do not kindle the coal of the sinners, lest you be burned in their flaming fire. Do not give ground before scoundrels, either set them in ambush against you. Do not lend to one more powerful than yourself, or if you lend, count it at loss. Do not give a collateral beyond your means. Consider any collateral a debt you must pay. Do not go to court against a judge, for the case will be settled in his favor. Do not trouble with the ruthless, lest they weigh you down with the calamities, for they will only go their own ways, and through their folly you will also perish. Do not defy the quick-tempered, or ride with them through the desert, for bloodshed is nothing to them. When there is no one to help, they will destroy you. Do not take counsel with the simpletons, for they cannot keep a confidence. Before strangers do nothing, they should be kept secret, for you do not know what will be produced later on. Open your heart to no one, do not banish your happiness. Sirach chapter 9, advice concerning woman. Do not be jealous of the wife of your bosom, lest you teach her to do evil against you. Do not give a woman power over you to trample on your dignities. Do not go near a strange woman, lest you fall into her snares. Do not dare with a singer lest you be captivated by her charms. Do not entertain any thought about the virgin lest you be enmeshed in damages for her. Do not give yourself to a prostitute lest you lose your inheritance. Do not look around the street of the city or wander through its squares. Avert your eyes from the shapely woman. Do not gaze upon the beauty that is not yours. Through woman's beauty, many have been ruined, for love of it burns like a fire. Never recline at table with a married woman or drink intoxicant with her, lest your heart be drawn to her and you go down in blood to the grave. Choice of the friends. Do not abandon old friends, new ones cannot equal them. A new friend is like a new wine. When it has aged, you drink it with pleasure. Do not envy the wicked, for you do not know when their day will come. Do not delight in the pleasure of the ungodly. Remember, they will not die unpunished. Keep away from those who have power to kill, and you will not fear with the dread of the death. But if you come near them, do not offend them, lest they take away your life. Know that you are stepping among snares and walking over a net. As best you can, answer your neighbor and associate with the wise. With the learned, exchange ideas and let your whole conversation be about the law of the Most High. Take the righteous for your table companions, and let your glory be in the fear of the God. Concerning rulers, work by skilled hands will earn praise, but the people read is proved wise by his words. Loud mouths are filled in their city, and whoever is reckless in speech is hated. Sirach chapter 10. A wise magistrate gives stability to his people, and the government by the intelligent is well ordered. As the people judge, so the officials, as the head of the city, so the inhabitants. A reckless king destroys his people, but a city grows through the intelligence of its princes. Sovereignty over the earth is the hand of the God who appoints the right person for the right times. Sovereignty over everyone is the hand of the God who imparts his majesty to the rulers, the sin of the pride. No matter what the wrong, never harm your neighbors or go the way of the arrogance. Odious to the Lord and to the mortal is pride, and for both oppression is a crime. Sovereignty is transferred from the one people to another because of the lawlessness of the proud. While dust and ashes are proud, even during life the body decays. A slight erased the doctor just a king today, tomorrow he is dead. When the people die, they inherit the corruption and worms, net and maggots. The beginning of the pride is stubbornness, is withdrawing the heart from one makers. For sin is a reservoir of the insolence, a source which runs over with vice. Because of it, God sends unheard of affliction and strikes people with utter ruin. God overturned the throne of the proud and enthroned the lowly in their place. God plucks up the root of the proud and plants the lowly in their place. The Lord lays waste the land of the nation and destroys them to the very foundation of the earth. He removes them from the earth, destroying them, erasing their memory from the world. Insolence does not befit morals, nor impudent anger those born of the woman. True glories. Whose offspring can be honorable? Human offspring. Those who fear the Lord are honorable offspring. Whose offspring can be disgraceful? Human offspring. Those who transgress the commandment are disgraceful offspring. Among relatives, the leader is honored, but whoever fears God is honored among God's peoples. Resident alien, stranger, foreigner, purpose, their glory is the fear of the Lord. It is not right to despise anyone wise but poor, nor proper to honor the lawless. The prince, the ruler, the judge are in the honor, but none is greater than the one who fears God. When the free serve wise slave, the wise will not complain. Do not flaunt your wisdom in managing your affairs, or boast in your time of the need. Better the worker who has good in the plenty than the boaster who has no food. My son, with humility have self-esteem, and give yourself the esteem you deserve. Who will acquit those who condemn themselves? Who will honor those who disgrace themselves? The poor are honored for their wisdom, the rich are honored for their wealth. Honored in the poverty, how much more so in wealth? Disgrace in wealth, in poverty, how much the more? Sirach chapter 11. The wisdom of the poor lifted their head high and set them among princes. Do not praise anyone for good looks or despise anyone because of appearance. The bee is least among winged creatures, but it reaps the choicest of harvest. Do not mock the one who wears only loin clothes or scarf at a person on bitter days. For strange are the deeds of the Lord, hidden from mortals his work. Many are the oppressed who rise to the throne, some that none would consider wear a crown. Many are the exalted who fall into utter disgrace. Many the honored who are given into the power of the few. Moderation and patience. Before investigating, do not find fault, examine first, then criticize. Before listening, do not say a word, interrupt no one in the midst of the speaking. Do not dispute about what is not your concern. In the core of the arrogant, do not take part. My son, why increase your anxiety, since whoever is greedy for wealth will not be blameless? Even if you chase after it, you will never overtake it, and by fleeing you will not escape. One may work and struggle and thrive and fall short all the same. Others go their way broken down, driftfuls. With little strength and great misery, yet the eye of the Lord looks favorably upon them, shaking them free of the stinking mirror. He lifts up their head and exalts them to the amazement of the many. Good and evil, life and death, poverty and riches are all out from the Lord. The Lord's gift remained with the devout. His favor brings lasting success. Some become rich through a miserable life, and this is their allotted reward. When they say, I have found rest, now I have feasted on my good, they do not know how long it will be till they die and leave them to others. My child, stand by your agreement and attend to it. Grow old while doing your works. Do not marvel at the works of the sinner, but trust in the Lord and wait for the right. For it is easy in the eyes of the Lord, suddenly in an instant, to make the poor rich. God's blessing is the lot of the righteous, and in the due time their hope bears fruit. Do not say, what do I need? What further benefit can be mine? Do not say, I am self-sufficient. What harm can come to me now? The day of the prosperity makes one forget adversities. The day of the adversity makes one forget the prosperities. For it is easier for the Lord on the day of the death to repay borrowers according to their conduct. A time of affliction brings a forgetfulness of the best delight. At the end of the life, when these are revealed. Call none happy before death, for how they end they are known. Care in choosing a friend. Not everyone should be brought into your house, for many are the snare of the crafty. Like a decoy batteries in a cage, so in the heart of the proud. And like a spy, they will pick out the weak spots. For they lie in wait to turn good into evil, and to the praiseworthy deeds they attach blame. One spark kindles many coals, sinner rise in wait for blood. Beware of the scoundrel, for they breed only evil, and they may give you a lasting stain. Admit the stranger into your home, and they will store up trouble, and make you a stranger to your own families. Sirach chapter 12. If you do good, know for whom you are doing it, and your kindness will have its effect. Do good to the righteous, and the reward will be yours, if not from them, from the Lord. No one comes to those who give comfort to the wicked, nor it is an act of the mercy that they do. Give to the good, but refuse the sinners. Refresh the downtrodden, but give nothing to the proud. Nor arms for the combat should you give them, lest they use this against you. So for the evil you will obtain for every good deed you do for them. For God also hates sinners and takes vengeance or evildoers. In prosperity we cannot know our friends. In adversity an enemy will not remain concealed. When one is successful, even an enemy is friendly, but in the adversity, even a friend disappears. Never trust your enemies, for their weakness is like a corrosion in bronze. Even though they act differentially and peacefully toward you, take care to be on your guard against them. Treat them as those who reveal secret, and be certain that in the end there will still be envious. Do not let them stand near you, lest they push you aside and take your place. Do not let them sit at your right hand, or they will demand your seat. And in the end you will appreciate my advice when you groan with regret as I want. Who parries a snake troubles when he is bitten, or anyone who goes near a wild beast? So it is with the companion of the proud who is involved in their sins. While you stand firm, they make no move, but if you slip, they cannot hold back. With their lips, enemies speak sweet praise, but in their heart they scheme to plunge you into the abyss. Though enemies have tears in their eyes, given the chance, they will never have enough of your blood. If evil comes upon you, you will find them at hand, pretending to help, they will trip you up. Then they will shake their heads and clap their hands and hiss repeatedly and show their true faces. Sirach chapter 13, caution regarding associate. Touch pitch and you blacken your hand, associate with the scoundrel and you run their race. Do not lift the weight to help for you or associate with anyone wealthier than you. How can the clay pot go with the metal cauldrons? When they knock together, the pot will be smashed. The rich do wrong and boast of it, while the poor are wrong and beg for forgiveness. As long as the rich can use you, they will enslave you, but when you are down and out, they will abandon you. As long as you have anything, they will live with you, but they will drain you dry without remorse. When they need you, they will deceive you and smile at you and raise your hopes. They will speak kindly to you and say, "What do you need?" They'll embarrass you at their dinner parties and finally laugh at you. Afterwards, when they see you, they will pass you by and shake their heads at you. Be on guard, do not act too boldly, do not be like those who lack sense. When the influencer drew near, keep your distance, then they will urge you all the more. Do not draw too close lest to be rebuffed, but do not keep too far away lest you be regarded as an enemy. Do not venture to be free with them, do not trust their many words, for by prolonged talk they will test you, and though smiling they will prove you. Mercilessly they will make you a laughing stock, and will not refrain from injury or change. Be on your guard and take care never to accompany lawless peoples. Every living thing loves its own kind, and we all love someone like ourselves. Every living being keeps close to its own kind, and people associate with their own kind. Is a wolf ever allied with a lamb, so the sinner with the righteous? Can there be peace between the hyena and the dog, or peace between the rich and the poor? While donkeys of the desert are lion prey, likewise the poor is a feeding ground for the rich. Humility is an abomination to the proud, and the poor are an abomination to the rich. When the rich stumble, they are supported by friends. When the poor trip, they are pushed down by friends. When the rich speak, they have many supporters, though that they say is repugnant. It wins approval. When the poor speak, people say, "Come, come, speak up." Though they are talking sense, they get no hearings. When the rich speak, all are silent. Their wisdom people extol to the clouds. When the poor speak, people say, "Who is that?" If they stumble, people knock them down. Wealth is good where there is no sin, but poverty is evil by the standard of the proud. The heart changes one's face, either for good or for evil. The sign of the good heart is a radiant face, withdrawn and perplexed is the toiling schemer. Sirach chapter 14. Happy those whose mouths cause them no grief, those who are not stung by remorse for sin. Happy are those whose conscience does not reproach them, those who have not lost hope. The use of the wealth. Wealth is not appropriate for mean-spirited. To beggars, what use is gold? What they deny themselves, they collect for someone else, and the stranger will live sumptuously on their possession. To whom will they be generous that are stingy with themselves and do not enjoy what is their own? None are worse than those who are stingy with themselves. They punish their own avarice. If ever they do good, it is by mistake. In the end, they reveal their meanness. Beggars are evil people. They turn away and disregard others. The greedy see their share as not enough. The greedy injustice dries up the soul. The eye of the miseries is rapacious for food, but there is none of it on their own tables. My son, if you have the means, treat yourself well and enjoy life as best you can. Remember that death does not delay, and you have not been told the grave's appointed time. Before you die, be good to your friends, give them a share in what you possess. Do not deprive yourself of the good things now, or let a choice portion escape you. Will you not leave your riches to others, and your earning to be divided by a lot? Give and take, treat yourself well, for in Sheol there are no joys to seek. All flesh grows old like a garment, the age-old law is everyone must die. As with the leaves growing on a luxuriant trees, on the falls of and another sprout. So with the generation of flesh and the blood, one dies and another flourishes. All human deeds surely perish, the work they do follow after them. The search for wisdom and her blessing. Happy those who meditate on wisdom and fix their gaze on knowledge, who ponder her ways in their heart and understand her paths, who pursue her like a scout and watch at her entryway, who peep through her windows and listen at her doors, who encamp near her house and fashion the tent pegs next to her walls, who pitch their tent beside her and dwell in good place, who build their nest in her leaves and rest in her branches, who take refuge from the heat in her shade and dwell in her home. Sirach chapter 15. Whoever fears the Lord will do this, whoever is practicing the law will come to wisdom. She will meet him like a mother, like a young bride she will receive him. She will feed him with the bread of the learning and give him the word of the understanding to drink. He will lean upon her and not fall. He will trust in her and do not put to shame. She will exalt him above his neighbors, and in the assembly she will make him eloquent. Joy and gladness he will find, and an everlasting name he will inherit. The worthless will not attain her, and the haughty will not behold her. She is far from the impious, righteous never think of it, first. Praise is unseemly on the lip of the sinners, for it has not been allotted to them by God. But praise is uttered by the mouth of the wise, and its rightful owners teach it free will. Do not say it was God doing that I fare well, for what he hates he does not do. Do not say he himself has led me astray, for he has no need of the wicked. Abominable wickedness the Lord hates, and he does not let it happen to those who fear him. God in the beginning created the human beings and made them subject to their own free choice. If you choose, you can keep the commandment. Royalty is doing the will of the God. Set before you are fire and water. To whatever you choose, stretch out your hands. Before everyone are life and death, whichever they choose will be given them. Immense is the wisdom of the Lord, mighty in power. He sees all things. The eyes of God behold his works, and he understands every human deed. He never commands anyone to sin, nor shows leniency toward the deceivers. Sirach chapter 16. God punishes of sinners. Do not yearn for worthless children or rejoice in the wicked offspring. Even if they be many, do not rejoice in them, if you do not have fear of the Lord. Do not count on the long life for them, on the heavy any hope for their futures. For one can be better than 1,000, rather die childless than have impious children. Through one wise person a city can be peopled, but through a clan of the rebels it becomes desolate. Many such things my eyes has seen, and even more than these my ear has heard. Against a simple band the fire is kindled, upon the gathered people less blaze. He did not forgive the prince of the old who rebelled long ago in their might. He did not spare the neighbors of Lot, abominable in their pride. He did not spare the doomed people dispossessed because of their sin. Nor the 600,000 foot soldiers sent to their graves for the arrows of their hearts. Had there been but one stiff-necked portion, it would be wonder had he gone unpunished. For mercy and anger alike are with him, he remits and forgives, but also pours out wrath. Great as his mercy is, his punishment, he judges people each according to their deeds. Criminals do not escape with their plunder. The hope of the righteous, God never leaves unfulfilled. Whoever does good has a reward, each received according to their deeds. Do not say, I am hidden from God and the On High who remembers me. Among so many people I am unknown. What am I in the world of the spirit? Look, the heaven and the highest heaven, the abyss and the earth tremble at his visitations. The root of the mountain and the earth's foundation, at his mere glance they quiver and quake. Of me therefore he will take no notice, with my ways who will be concerned. If I see, no eyes will see me. If all in secret I act deceitfully, who is to know? Who tells him about just deeds? What can I expect for doing my duties? Such the thought of the senseless, only the foolish entertain them. Divine wisdom seen in creation. Listen to me, my son, and take my advice, and apply your mind to my words. While I pour out my spirit by measure, and impart knowledge with care. When at the first God created his works, and as he made them, assigned their tasks. He arranged for all the time what they were to do, their domains from generation to generation. They were not to go hungry or grow weary, or ever cease from their tasks. Never does a single one crowd its neighbors, or do any ever disobey his word. Then the Lord looked upon the earth and filled it with his blessings. Its surface is covered with every kind of the living creature, which must return into it again. Sirach chapter 17, Creation of the human beings. The Lord created human beings from the earth and makes them return to earth again. Unlimited number of the days he gave them, but granted them authority over everything on earth. He endowed them with strength like his own and made them in his images. He put a fear of them in all flesh and gave them dominion over beasts and birds. Discernment, tongues and eyes, ears, and a mind for thinking he gave them. With knowledge and understanding he filled them, good and evil he showed them. He put a fear of him into their hearts to show them the grandeur of his works, that they might describe the wonders of his deeds and praise his holy name. He set before them knowledge and allotted to them the law of the life. An everlasting covenant he made with them, and his commandment he revealed to them. His majestic glory their eyes beheld, his glorious voice their ears heard. He said to them, avoid all evil. To each of them he gave a precept about their neighbors. Their ways are ever known to him, they cannot be hidden from his eyes. Over every nation he appointed a ruler, but Israel is the Lord's own portions. All their works are clear as the sun to him, and his eyes are ever upon their ways. Their iniquities cannot be hidden from him, all their sins are before the Lord. Human goodness is like a signet ring with God, and the virtue he keeps like the apple of his eye. Later he rises up and repay them, requiting each one as they deserve. Appeal for return to God. But to the penitent he provides way back and encourages those who are losing hope. Turn back to the Lord and give up your sin, pray before him and make your offense few. Turn again to the Most High and away from iniquities, and hate intensely what he loathes. Who is sure can glorify the Most High in place of the living who offer their praise? The dead can no more give praise than those who have never lived. They who are alive and well glorify the Lord. How great is the mercy of the Lord and his forgiveness for those who return to him. For not everything is within human reach, since human beings are not immortal. Is anything brighter than the sun, yet it can be eclipsed? How worthless then the thought of the flesh and blood? God holds uncountable the host of the highest heaven, while all the mortals are dust and ashes. Sirach chapter 18, the divine power of the mercy. He who lives forever created the whole universe. The Lord alone is just. To whom has he given power to describe his works, and who can search out his mighty deeds? Who can measure his majestic power or fully recount his mercies? No one can lessen, increase, or fathom the wonder of the Lord. When mortals have finished, they are only beginning, and when they stop, they will still be withered. What are the morals? What are their words? What is good in them, and what is evil? The number of their days seems great if it reaches 100 years. Like a drop of the water from the sea and a grain of the sand, so are these few years among the days of the eternities. That is why the Lord is patient with them and pours out his mercy on them. He sees and understands that their death is wretched, and so he forgives them all the more. Their compassion is for their neighbors, but the Lord's compassion reaches all flesh, reproving, admonishing, teaching, and turning them back, as a shepherd his flock. He has compassion on those who accept his discipline, who are eager for his precept. The need for prudence. My child, add to no reproach to your charity, or spoil any gift by harsh words. Does not the dew give relief from the scorching heat, so word can be better than a gift? Indeed, does not word count more than a good gift? But both are offered by a kind person. The fool is ungracious and abusive, and the grudging gift makes the eyes smart. Before you speak, learn. Before you get sick, prepare the cure. Before you are judged, examine yourself, and at the time of the scrutiny, you will have forgiveness. Before you are judged, examine yourself, and at the time of the scrutiny, you will have forgiveness. Before you fall ill, humble yourself, and when you have sinned, show repentance. Do not delay forsaking your sin. Do not neglect to do so until you are in distress. Let nothing prevent the prompt payment of your vows. Do not wait until death to fulfill them. Before making a vow, prepare yourself. Do not be like one who put the Lord to the test. Think of rest on the day of the death, the time of the vengeance, when he will hide his face. Think of the time of the hunger in the time of the plenty, poverty and need in the day of the rest. Between morning and the evening there is a change of the time. Before the Lord all things are fleeting. The wise are discreet in all things. Where sin is alive, they will themselves from wrongdoing. Every wise person teaches wisdom, and those who know her declare her praise. Those skilled in words become wise themselves, and the fools after proverbs. Self-control. Do not let your passion be your guide, but keep your desires in check. If you allow yourself to satisfy your passions, they will make you the laughingstock of your enemies. Take no pleasure in too much luxury, which brings on poverty redoubled. Do not become glutton and drunkard with nothing in your purse. Sirach chapter 19. Whoever does this grows no richer. Those who waste the little they have will be stripped bare. Wine and woman make the heart lustful, and the companion prostitute becomes reckless. Rottenness and worms will possess him, and the reckless will be snatched away. Whoever trusts others too quickly has a shallow mind, and those who sin alone themselves. The proper use of the speech. Whoever gloats over evil will be destroyed, and whoever repeats gossip has no sense. Never repeat gossip, and no one will reproach you. Tell nothing to a friend or a foe, and unless it will be a sin for you, do not reveal a thing. For someone may have heard you and watched you, and in time come to hate you. Let anything you hear die with you. Never fear, it will not make you burst. Having heard something, the fool goes into labor, like a woman giving birth to a child. Like an arrow stuck in a fool's thigh, so it gossip in the belly of the fools. Admonish your friend, he may not have done it, and if he did, that he may not do it again. Admonish your neighbor, he may not have said it, and if he did, that he may not say it again. Admonish your friend, often it may be slander. Do not believe every story. Then to a person can slip and not mean it, who has not sinned with his tongues. Admonish your neighbor before you break with him, and give due place to the law of the Most High. How to recognize true wisdom. All wisdom is a fear of the Lord, and in all wisdom the observance of the law. The knowledge of the wickedness is not wisdom, nor is there prudence in the counsel of the sinners. There is a shrewdness that is detestable, while the fool may be free from sin. Better are the God-fearing who have a little understanding than those of great intelligence who have violated the law. There is a shrewdness keen but dishonest, and there are those who are duplicitous to win a judgment. There is a villain bowed in a grave, but full of deceit within. He hides his face and pretends not to hear, but when not observed, he will take advantage of you. Even if his lack of the strength keep him from sinning, when he finds the right time, he will do harm. People are known by their appearance. The sensible are recognized as such when first met. One's attire, hearty laughter, and guide proclaim him for what he is. Sirach chapter 20. Conduct of the wise and the foolish. There is admonition that is untimely, but the silent person is the wise one. It is much better to admonish than to lose one's temper. One who admits a fault will be kept from disgrace. Like a eunuch lusting to violate a young woman is the one who does right under compulsions. One is silent and is thought wise, another for being talked over as disliked. One is silent, having nothing to say, another is silent, biding his time. The wise remain silent till the right time comes, but a boasting fool misses the proper time. Whoever talks too much is detested. Whoever pretends to authority is hated. There is the misfortune that brings a success, and there is the gain that turns into a loss. There is a gift that profits you nothing, and there is the gift that must be paid back doubles. There is the loss for the sake of the glory, and there is the one who rises above a humble circumstance. There is one who buys much for little, but pays for it 7 times over. The wise make themselves beloved by a few words, but the courtesies of fools are wasted. A gift from a fool will do you no good, for in his eyes the one gift is equal to many. He gives little, criticizes often, and opens his mouth like a town crier. He lends today and asks for it tomorrow. Such a person is hateful. A fool says, I have no friends, nor thanks for my generosities. Those who eat his bread have mocking tongues. How many will ridicule him, and how often? A slip on the floor is better than a slip of the tongues. In the like manner, the downfall of the wicked comes quickly. A coarse person, untimely story, the ignorant are always ready to offer it. A proverb spoken by a fool is unwelcome, for he does not tell it at the proper time. There is a person whose property prevents him from sinning, but when he takes his rest, he has no regrets. There is a person who is destroyed through shame and ruined by foolish posturings. There is one who promises a friend out of the shame and so makes an enemy needlessly. A lie is a foul brought in a person, yet it is always on the lips of the ignorant. A thief is better than an infatuated liar, yet both will suffer ruin. A lie way leads to dishonor, and his shame remains ever with him. The wise gain promotion with few words, the prudent please the regret. Those who work the land had abundant crops, and those who praise the great pardoned their faults. Fables and give the blind the eyes, like a muzzle over the mouth, they silence reproofs. Hidden wisdom and unseen treasure, what a value has either? Where are those who hide their folly than those who hide their wisdom? Sirach chapter 21. Danger from sin. My child, if you have sinned, do so no more, and for your past sins pray to be forgiven. Flee from sin as from a serpent that will bite you if you go near it. It is lion teeth destroying human lips. All lawlessness is like a two-edged sword. When it cuts, there is no healing. Panic and pride wipe out wealth, so too the house of the proud is uprooted. Prayer from the lip of the poor is heard at once, and justice is quickly granted them. Whoever hates correction walks the sinner path, but whoever fears the Lord repents in his heart. Glib speakers are widely known, but when they sleep, the sensible perceive it. Those who build their houses with someone else's money are like those who collect stone for their funeral mounds. A band of the criminal is like a bundle of the tow. They will end in a flaming fire. The path of the sinners is smooth stones, but it ends in the pit of the Sheol. The wise and the foolish are contrast. Those who keep the law control their thought. The perfect fear of the Lord is wisdom. One who is not clever can never be taught, but there is a cleverness filled with bitterness. The knowledge of the wise wells up like a flood, and their counsel like a living spring. A fool's mind is like a broken jar, it cannot hold any knowledge at all. When the intelligent hear a wise saying, they praise it and add to it. They wanton hear it with distaste and cast it behind their back. A fool's travel is like a road on a journey, but the delight is to be found on the lip of the intelligent. The views of the prudent are sought in an assembly, and their words are taken to heart. Like a house in ruins in wisdom to a fool, to the stupid, knowledge is incomprehensible terrors. To the senseless, education is a fetters on the feet, like manacles on the right hand. Fools raise their voice in the left, but the prudent at most smile quietly. Like a gold ornament is education to the wise, like a bracelet on the right arms. A fool steps boldly into a house, while the well-bred are slow to make an entrance. A boar peeps through the doorway of the house, but the educated stay outside. It is rude for one to listen at door. The discreet person would be overwhelmed by the disgrace. The lip of the arrogant, the talk of the world is not their concern, but the discreet carefully weigh their words. The mind of the fools is in their mouths, but the mouth of the wise is in their mind. When the gatherers curse their adversary, they really curse themselves. Slanderers sully themselves and are hated by their neighbors. Sirach chapter 22 on laziness and foolishness. The sluggard is like a Pharisee stone, everyone hisses at his disgrace. The sluggard is like a lump of the dung, whoever touches it shakes it out the hands. Undisciplined child is a disgrace to its father. If it be adored, she brings him to poverty. A thoughtful daughter obtains a husband of her own. A shameless one is her father grieved. A hush shame her father and her husband, she is despised by both. Like music at the time of the morning is ill-timed talk, but rest and discipline are at all times wisdom. Teaching a fool is like gluing a broken pot or arousing another from deep sleeps. Whoever talks with a fool talks to someone asleep. When it is over, he says, "What was that?" Weep over the dead, for their right has gone out. Weep over the fool, for sense has left him. Weep but less bitterly over the dead, for they are at rest. Worse than death is the life of the fools. Mourning for the dead 7 days, but for the wicked fool a whole lifetime. Do not talk much with the stupid or visit the unintelligent. Beware of them lest you have trouble, and be spattered when they shake themselves up. Avoid them and you will find rest and not be wearied by their lack of the sense. What is heavier than lead? What is its name but a force? Sand, salt, and an iron weight are easier to bear than to stupid persons. A wooden beam firmly bonded into a building is not loosened by an earthquake. So the mind firmly resolved after careful deliberation will not be afraid at any times. The mind solidly backed by intelligent thought is like a stucco decoration on the smooth walls. Small stones lying on the open height will not remain when the wind blows. So a timid mind based on the foolish plans cannot stand up to a fear of any kind. The preservation of the friendship. Whoever jabs the eye brings tears. Whoever buries the heart bears its feelings. Whoever throws a stone at birds that drives them away. Whoever insults a friend breaks up the friendship. Should you draw a sword against a friend, do not despair, for it can be undone. Should you open your mouth against a friend, do not worry, for you can be reconciled. But a contemptuous insult, a confidence broken, or treacherous attack will drive any friend away. Win your neighbor trust while he is poor, so that you may rejoice with him in his prosperities. In the time of the trouble, remain true to him, so that you may share in his inheritance when it comes. The blowing smoke of the furnace precedes the fire, so insult precedes the bloodshed. I am not ashamed to shelter a friend, and I not hide from him. But if harm should come to me because of him, all who hear of it will beware of him. Prayer. Who set a guard over my mouth, an effective seal on my lips, that I may not fail through them, and my tongues may not destroy me? Sirach, chapter 23. Lord, Father and Master of my life, do not abandon me to their designs. Do not let me fall because of them. Who will apply the lash to my throat and to my mind to load of the disciplines, that my failing may not be spared, or the sins of my heart overlooked. Otherwise my failing may increase and my sins be multiplied, and I fall before my adversaries, and my enemy rejoice over me. Lord, my Father and God my life, do not give me haughty eyes. Remove evil desire from my heart. Let neither gluttony nor lust overcome me. Do not give me up to shameless desires. Proper use of the tongues. Listen, my children, to instruction concerning the mouth, for whoever keeps it will not be ensnared. Through the lips the sinner is caught, by them the reviler and the arrogant are tripped up. Do not accustom your mouth to oaths, or habitually utter the holy names. Just as a servant constantly under scrutiny will not be without bruises, so one who swears continually by the holy names will never remain free from sin. Those who swear many oaths heap up offenses, and the scourge will never be far from their houses. If they swear in error, guilt is incurred. If they neglect their obligation, the sin is doubly great. If they swear without reason, they cannot be declared innocent, for their household will be filled with calamities. There are words comparable to death. May they never be heard in inheritance of Jacob. To the devout all such words are foreign. They do not wallow in sins. Do not accustom your mouth to coarse talk, for it involves sinful speeches. Keep your father and mother in mind when you sit among the mighty, lest you forget yourself in their presence and disgrace your upbringings. Then you will wish you have never been born, and will curse the day after your birth. Those accustomed to using abusive language will never acquire discipline as long as they live. Sins of the flesh. Two types of the people multiply sins, and the third draws down wrath. Burning passion is like a blazing fire, not to be quenched till it burns itself out. One unchaste with its kindred never stops until fire breaks forth. To To the unchaste, all breath is sweet, he is never true till he dies. The man who dishonors his marriage bed says to himself, who can see me? Darkness surrounds me, walls hide me. No one sees me, who can stop me from sinning? He is not mindful of the Most High. Fearing only human eyes, he does not realize that the eyes of the Lord 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Observe every step taken and peers into hidden corners. The one who knows all things before they exist still knows them all after they are made. Such a man will be denounced in the street of the city, and where he least suspected, he will be apprehended. So it is with the woman unfaithful to her husband who offers him on the error by another man. First of all, she has disobeyed the law of the Most High. Second, she has wronged her husband. Third, through her wanton adultery, she has brought forth children by another man. Such a woman will be dragged before the assembly, and her punishment will extend to her children. Her children will not take root, her branches will not bring forth fruit. She will leave behind the cursed memories, her disgrace will never be blotted out. Thus all who dwell on the earth shall know, all who remain in the world shall understand, that nothing is better than the fear of the Lord, nothing sweeter than obeying the commandment of the Lord. Sirach chapter 24, Praise of the Wisdom. Wisdom is to sing her own praise among her own people. She proclaims her glory. In the assembly of the Most High, she opens her mouth. In the presence of his host, she tells of her glory. From the mouth of the Most High I came forth and covered the earth like a mist. In the height of the heaven I dwelt, and my throne was in pillar of the cloud. The vault of the heaven I compassed alone, and walked through the deep abyss. Over waves of the sea, over all the land, over every people and nation I held sway. Among all these I thought the resting place, in whose inheritance should I abide? Then the Creator of the world gave me his command, and my Creator chose the spot for my tent. He said, in Jacob make your dwelling, in Israel your inheritance. Before all age, from the beginning, he created me, and through all age I shall not cease to be. In the holy tent I ministered before him, and so I was established in Zion. In the city he loves as he loves me, he gave me a rest in Jerusalem, my domains. I struck root among the glorious people, in the portion of the Lord his heritages. Like a cedar in Lebanon I grew tall, like a cypress on Mount Hermon. I grew tall like a palm tree in En-Gedi, like rose bushes in Jericho. Like a fair olive tree in the field, like a plane tree beside water I grew tall. Like a cinnamon and fragrant canis, like a precious myrrh I gave forth perfumes. Like a galbanum and onyx and mastix. Like an odor of the incense in the holy tent. I spread out my branches like terpenes, my branches so glorious and so graceful. I bud forth delight like a vine, my blossoms are glorious and rich fruit. Come to me, all who desire me, and fill with my fruit. You will remember me as sweeter than honey, better to have than the honeycombs. Those who eat of me will hunger still, those who drink of me will thirst for more. Whoever obeys me will not be put to shame, and those who serve me will never go astray. All this is the book of the covenant of the Most God, the law which Moses commanded us as heritage for the community of the Jacob. It overflows like a piston with wisdom and like the Tigris at the time of the first flood. It runs over like a Euphrates with understanding and like the Jordan at the harvest time. It flows like the Nile with instruction like the Gihon at the vintage time. The first human being never finished comprehending wisdom, nor will the last succeed in fathoming horse. For deeper than the sea are her thought and her counsel than the great abyss. Now I like a stream for a river and like water channeling into gardens. I said I wrote my plans, I drenched my flower beds. Then suddenly the stream of the mind became a river, and this river of the mind became a sea. Again I'll make my teaching shine forth like a dawn, I'll spread their brightness afar off. Again I'll pour out instruction like a prophesy and bestow it on generation yet to come. Sirach chapter 25. Those are worthy of praise. With the things I am delighted, for they are pleasing to the Lord and to the human beings. Harmony among relatives, friendship among neighbors, and a wife and husband are living happily together. Three kinds of the people I hate, and I loathe their manner of lives. A proud, a purple, a rich wire, and a treacherous old fools. In your youth you did not gather, how will you find anything in your old age? How appropriate is sound judgment in the gray-haired and good counsel in the elderly? How appropriate is wisdom in the aged, understanding and counsel in the venerable? The crown of the elderly wide experience their glory to fear of the Lord. There are nine who come to mind as blessed, a tenth whom my tongue proclaims. The man who finds joy in his children, and the one who lives to see the downfall of his enemies. Happy the man who lives with a sensible woman, and the one who does not plow with an ox and a donkey combined. Happy the one who does not sin with the tongue, who does not serve on inferiors. Happy the one who finds a friend, who speaks to attentive ears. How great is the one who finds wisdom, but none is greater than the one who fears the Lord. Fear of the Lord surpasses all else. To whom can you compare the one who has it? Wicked and virtuous woman. Any wound but not the wound of the heart, any wickedness but not the wickedness of the woman. Any suffering but not suffering from one's foes, any vengeance but not the vengeance of the one's enemies. There is no poison worse than that of the serpent, nor venom greater than that of woman's. I would rather live with the dragon or a lion than live with the wicked woman. A woman's wicked disposition changes her appearance and makes her face as dark as a beard. When a husband sits among his neighbors, a bitter sigh escapes him unawares. There is hardly an evil like that is woman, may she afford a lot of the sinners. Like a sandy hair to aged feet is a garrulous wife to the quiet husband. Do not be enticed by a woman's beauty or be greedy for her wealth. Harsh is the slavery and the great shame when a wife supports her husband. Depressed mind, the gloomy face, and the wounded heart, the wicked woman. Drooping hands and the caking knees, any wife who does not make her husband happy. With the woman sin and bad beginning, and because of her we all die. Allow water no outlet, and no boldness of the speech to wicked woman. If she does not go along as you direct, cut her way from you. Sirach chapter 26. Happy the husband of a good wife, the number of his days will be doubled. A loyal wife brings joy to the husband, and he will finish his years in peace. A good wife is a generous gift bestowed upon him who fears the Lord. Whether rich or poor, his heart is content, a smile ever on his face. There are three things I dread, and the fourth which terrifies me: public slander, the gathering of the mob, and the false accusation, all harder to bear than death. A wife jealous of another wife is heartache and mourning. Everyone feels the lash of her tongues. A wicked wife is chafing yoke. Taking hold of her is like grasping a scorpion. A drunken wife arouse great anger, for she does not hide her shame. By her haughty stare and her eyelids, unchaste wife can be recognized. Keep a strict watch over an unruly wife, lest finding an opportunity she use it. Watch out for her impudent eye, and do not be surprised if she betrays you. As a thirsty traveler opens his mouth and drinking from any water nearby, so she sits down before every tent bag and opens her quiver for every arrow. A gracious wife delights her husband, her thoughtful lips put the flesh on his bones. A silent wife is a gift from the Lord. Nothing is worth more than her self-discipline. A modest wife is a supreme blessing. No scale can weigh the worth of her chastity. The sun rising in the Lord's heavens, the beauty of the good wife in a well-ordered home. The light which shines above the holy lampstand, a beautiful face on stately figures. Golden columns on silver bases show her shapely legs and steady feet. Danger to integrity and friendship. Two things bring grief to my heart, and the third arouse my anger: the wealthy reduced to want, the intelligent held in contempt, and those passed from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepares them for the sword. A merchant can hardly keep from wrongdoing, nor can a shopkeeper stay free from sin. Sirach chapter 27. For the sake of the prophet, many sins, and the struggle for wealth blind the eyes. A stake will be driven between feet, the stone sin will be wedged in the between buying and selling. Unless the one hold fast to the fear of the Lord, with sudden swiftness will one's house be thrown down. When a sieve is shaken, the husk appears, so do people fall when they speak. The furnace test the bottles, the vessels, the test of the person is on conversations. The fruit of the tree shows the care it has had, so speech discloses the bent of the person's heart. Praise no one before he speaks, for it is then the people are tested. For you should strive after justice, you will attain it, and wear it like a splendid robe. Birds nest with their own kind, and honesty comes to those who work at it. A lion lies in wait for prey, so does sin for evildoers. The conversation of the gathered is always wisdom, but the fool changes like the moon. Limit the time you spend among the stupid, but frequent the company of the thoughtful. The conversation of fools is offensive, and their laughter is wanton sin. Their oath-filled talk makes the hair stand on end, and their blows make one stop the ears. The wrangling of the proud ends in the bloodshed, and their cursing is painful to hear. Whoever betrays a secret destroys confidence and will never find a congenial friends. Cherish your friend, keep faith with him, but if you betray his secret, do not go after him.
For as one might kill another, you have killed your neighbor friendship. Like a bird released from your hand, you have let your friend go and cannot recapture him. Do not go after him, for he is far away, and he has escaped like a gazelle from a snare. From a wound can be bandaged and an insult forgiven, but whoever betrays secretly does hopeless damages, malice, anger, and vengeance. Whoever has shifty eyes plot mischief, and those who know him will keep their distance. In your presence he used honeyed talk and admired your words, but later he changed his tone and twisted the words to your ruin. I have hated many things, but not as much as him, and the Lord hates him as well. A stone falls back on the head of the one who throws it high, and a treacherous blow causes many wounds. Whoever digs a pit falls into it, and whoever lays a snare is caught in it. The evil anyone does will recoil on him without knowing how it came upon him. Mockery and abuse will befall the arrogant, and vengeance lies in the wait for them like lions. Those who rejoice in the downfall of the godly will be caught in a snare, and pain will consume them before they die. Lust and anger, these also are abominations, yet a sinner holds on to them. Sirach chapter 28. The vengeful will face the Lord of vengeance. Indeed, he remembers their sin in detail. Forgive your neighbor the wrong done to you, then when you pray, your own sins will be forgiven. Does anyone nourish anger against another and expect healing from the Lord? Can one refuse mercy to the sinner like oneself, yet seek a pardon for one's own sins? If a mere mortal cherishes less, who will forgive his sins? Remember your last day and set enmity aside. Remember death and decay and cease from sin. Remember the commandment and do not be angry with your neighbors. Remember the covenant of the Most High and overlook faults. Avoid the strife, and your sin will be fewer, for the hot temper the kindle strife. The sinner disrupts the friendship and sow discord among those who are at peace. The more the wood, the greater fire. The more the cruelty, the fiercer the strife. The greater strength, the stronger the anger. The greater wealth, the greater less. Pitch and resin make a fire flare up, and the hasty quarrel provokes bloodshed. The evil tongue. If you blow on the spark, it turns into flame. If you spit on it, it dies out. Yet both you do with your mouth. Cursed be gossip and the double-tongued, for they destroy the peace of the many. A meddlesome tongue subverts the many and makes them refugees among peoples. It destroys strong cities and overthrows the houses of the great. A meddlesome tongue drives a virtuous woman from their homes and robs them of the fruit of their toils. Whoever hears it will find no rest, nor will they dwell in peace. A blow from whip raises wealth, but a blow from the tongue will break bones. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not as many as by the tongues. Happy the one who is sheltered from it and has not endured its arrest, who has not borne its yoke nor been bound with its chains. For its yoke is a yoke of the iron, and its chains are chains of the bronze. The death it inflicts is in evil death, even shower is preferable to it. It will have no power over the godly, nor will they be burned in its flame. But those who forsake the Lord will fall victim to it, as it burns among their unquenchables. It will hold itself against them like a lion and like a leopard. It will tear them to pieces. As you fence in your property with thorns, so make a door and a bird for your mouth. As you lock up your silver and gold, so make a balance and scale for your rewards. Take care not to slip by your tongues and fall victim to one lying in ambush. Sirach chapter 29. Loans, alms, and sureties. The merciful lend to their neighbor by holding out the helping hand. They keep the commandments. Lend to your neighbor in his time of the need and pay back your neighbor in times. Keep your promise and be honest with him, and at all times you will find what you need. Many borrowers ask for a loan and cause trouble for those who help them. Till he gets a loan, he kisses the lender's hand and speaks softly of his credit money. But at the time of the payment, the delays makes excuse and finds a fault with the timings. If we can pay, the lender will recover barely half and will consider that a windfall. If we cannot pay, the lender is cheated of his money and occurs an enemy at no extra charge. With curse and insult, the borrowers will repay, and instead of honor will repay with abuse. Many refuse to lend not out of the meanness, but from fear of being treated needlessly. But with those in humble circumstances, be patient, do not keep them waiting for your alms. Because of the commandment, help the poor, and in the need, do not send them away empty-handed. Lose your money for relative or friend, do not hide it under a stone to a lot. Dispose of your treasure according to the commandment of the Most High, and that will profit you more than the gold. Store up the almsgiving in your treasury, and it will save you from every evil. Better than the mighty shield and the sturdy spear, it will fight for you against the enemies. A good person will be surety for a neighbor, but whoever has lost the sense of the shame will fail him. Do not forget the kindness of the beggar, for he has given his very life for you. A sinner will turn the favor of the praise into misfortune, and the ungrateful will abandon his rescuer. Going surety has ruined many who were prosperous and tossed them about like waves of the sea. It has exiled the prominent and sent them wandering through foreign lands. The sinner will come to grief through surety, and whoever undertakes too much will fall into lawsuits. Help your neighbor according to your means, but take care of the rest for yourself. Frugality and its rewards. Life prime needs are water, bread, and clothing, and also a house for decent privacy. Better is the life of the poor under the shadow of their own roof than sumptuous banquet among the strangers. Whether little or much, be content with what you have, then you will hear no reproach as a parasite. It is a miserable life to go from house to house, for where you are a guest you dare not open your mouth. You will entertain and provide drink without being thanked. Besides, you will hear these bitter words. Come here, you parasite, set the table, let me eat the food you have there. Go away, you parasite, for one more worthy, for my relative feast I need room. Painful things to a sensitive person are rebuked as a parasite and an insult from creditors. Sirach chapter 30, the training of the children. Whoever loves a son will chastise him often, that he may be his joy when he grows up. Whoever disciplines a son will benefit from him and boast of him among acquaintances. Whoever educates a son will make his enemy jealous and rejoice in him among his friends. At the father's death he will seem not dead, for he lives after him one like himself, whom he looked upon to life with joy and in death without regrets. Against his enemy he has left an avenger and one to repay his friends with kindness. Whoever spoils a son will have wounds to bandage and will suffer heartache at every crash. Untamed horse turn out stubborn, and the son left to himself grows up unruly. Pamper a child, and he will be terror for you. Indulge him, and he will bring you grief. Do not laugh with him, lest you share sorrow with him, and in the end you will gnsh your teeth. Do not give him his own way in his youth, and do not ignore his follies. Bow down his head in your youth, beat his side while he is still young, lest he become stubborn and disobey you, and leave you disconsolate. Discipline your son and make heavy his yoke, lest you be offended by his shamelessness, haste and cheerfulness. Better the poor in vigorous health than the rich with bodily ills. I would rather have bodily health than any gold, and contentment of the spirit than pearls. No riches are greater than a healthy body, and no happiness than a joyful heart. Better is death than the wretched life, everlasting sleep than constant illness. Cut things set before one who cannot eat are like a food offering placed before a tomb. What good is the offering to an idol that can neither eat nor smell? So it is with the one being punished by the Lord, who groans at what he eyes behold. Do not give in to sadness or torment yourself deliberately. Gladness of the heart is the very life of the person, and the cheerfulness prolongs his days. Distract yourself and renew your courage. Drive resentment far away from you. For grief has killed many, and nothing is to be gained from resentment. Envy and anger shorten one's day, and anxiety brings on the premature old age. Those who are cheerful are merry at table, benefit from their foods.
Sirach chapter 31. The proper attitude toward riches. Wakefulness over wealth wastes away the flesh, and anxiety over it drives away sleeps. Wakeful anxiety banishes slumber more than a serious illness, it disturbs repose. The rich are able to buy wealth, and if they rest, it is to enjoy pleasure. The poor labor for a meager living, and if they ever rest, they become needy. The love of gold will not be free from sin. Whoever pursues money will be led astray by it. Many have come to ruin for the sake of the gold, yet destruction lay before their very eyes. It is a stumbling block for fools. Any simple reason will be ensnared by it. Happy the rich person found without a fault, who does not turn aside after wealth. Who is he that we may praise him, for he has done wonders among his peoples? Who has been tested by gold and been found perfect? Let it be for him his glory, who could have sinned but did not, and could have done evil but did not. So his good fortune is secure, and the assembly will recount his praise. Table etiquette. Are you seated at the table of the great? Bring to it no greedy gullet, nor say how much food there is here. Remember that the great eye is evil. What has been created more greedy than the eyes? Therefore it weeps for any cause. Recognize that your neighbor fails as you do, and keep in mind that everything you dislike. Toward what he looks at, do not put out a hand, nor reach for the same dish when he does. Eat like anyone else what is set before you, but do not eat greedily, lest you be despised. Be the first to start as befit good manners, and do not gorge yourself, lest you give offense. If there are many with you at table, do not be first to stretch out your hand. Does not a little suffice for a well-bred person? When he lies down, he does not wheeze. Moderate eating ensures sound slumber and a clear mind on rising the next day. The distress of the sleeplessness and of the nausea and the garlic are with the gluttons. Should you have eaten too much, get up to vomit and you will have relapse. Listen to me, my child, do not scorn me. Rather, you will find my advice good. In whatever you do, be moderate, and no sickness will befall you. People bless when he is generous with the food, and this testimony to his goodness is lasting. The city complains about when he is stingy with the food, and this testimony to his stinginess is lasting. Let not wine to be proof of your strength, for wine has been the ruin of the many. As the furnace tests the work of the smith, so does wine the heart of the insolent. Wine is very life to anyone if taken in moderation. Does anyone really live who lacks the wine, which from the beginning was created for joy? Joy of heart, good cheer, and delight is wine and enough, drunk at the proper time. Headache, bitterness, and disgrace is wine drunk amid the anger and strife. Wine in excess is a snare for the fool. It lessens strength and multiplies wounds. Do not wrangle with your neighbor when wine is served, nor despise him while he is having a good time. Say no harsh words to him, nor distress him by making demands. Sirach chapter 32. If you are chosen to preside at a dinner, do not be forfeit up. But with the guests, be as one of them, take care of them first and then sit down. Sit to their needs and take your place to share in their joy and receive or less for joy well done. You who are old, it is your right to speak, but temper your knowledge and do not interrupt the singings. Where there is entertainment, do not pour out discourse, and do not display your wisdom at the wrong time. Like a seed of the carnelian in the setting of the gold, a consort of the music at the banquet of the wine. A seed of the emerald is a work of the gold, the melody of the music with the delicious wine. Speak, young men, only when necessary, when they ask you more than once. Be brief, say much in a few words, be knowledgeable and yet quiet. When among elders, do not be forward, and with officials, do not be too insistent. The lightning that flies before a hailstorm, the esteem that shines on modesties. Live in good time and do not be the last. Go home quickly without delays. They'll enjoy doing as you wish, but do not sin through words of the pride. Above all, bless your Maker, who showers his favors upon you. The providence of God. Whoever seeks God must accept the discipline, and whoever resorts to him obtains an answer. Whoever seeks the law will master it, but the hypocrite will be ensnared by it. Whoever fears the Lord will understand what is right, and out of obscurity we will draw forth a course of the actions. The lawless turn aside warning and destroy the law to suit their purpose. The sensible will not neglect the direction. The proud and the insolent are deterred by no fears. Do nothing without their deliberation. Then once you have acted, have no regrets. Do not go on ways set with the snares, and do not stumble on the same things twice. Do not trust the Lord because of the bandit. Be careful on your path. Whatever you do, be on your guard, for whoever does so keeps the commandments. Whoever keeps the law preserves himself, and whoever trusts in the Lord shall not be put to shame. Sirach chapter 33. No evil can harm the one who fears the Lord. Through trial again and again he is rescued.
Whoever hates the Lord is without wisdom and is tossed about like a boat in a storm. The prudent trust in the word of the Lord, and the Lord is a defender for them as a divine oracles. Prepare your words, and then you will be listened to. Draw upon your training and give your answer. Like the wheel of the cart is the mind of the fool, and his thought like a turning exile. A mocking friend is like a stallion that neighs no matter who the rider may be. Why is the one day more important than another when the same sun rides up every day of the years? By the Lord's knowledge they are kept distinct, and He designates the season and feast. Some He exalts and sanctifies, and the others He lists as ordinary days. Likewise, all people are of clay, and from us humankind was formed. In the fullness of His knowledge, the Lord distinguished them, and He designated their different ways. Some He blessed and exalted, and some He sanctified and drew to Himself. Others He cursed and brought low and expelled them from their place. Like clay in the hand of the potter to be molded according to his pleasure, so are the people in the hand of their maker to be dealt with as he decides. As evil contrasts with good and death with life, so are sinners in contrast with the godless. See now all the work of the Most High, they come in pairs, one the opposite of the other. Now I am the last to keep the busy like a gleaner following the grape pickers. Since by the Lord's blessing I made the progress, till like a grape pickers I have filled my wine press. Consider that not for myself only have I labored, but for all who seek instructions. Property and the servant. Listen to me, read of the people, rule of the congregation, pay heed. Let neither son or wife, neither brother nor friends have power over you as long as you live. While breath of the life is still in you, let no one take your place. Do not give your rest to another, lest you must pray for support yourself. Far better your children prayed with you than that you should look for a handout from them. Keep control over all your affairs, bring no stain on your honors. When your few days reach their limit, at the time of the death, distribute your inheritance. For the end, whip and load for the donkey, for the correction and the work for slaves. Make a slave work, and he will look for less. Let his hand be idle, and he will seek to be praised. The yoke and the harness will bow the neck, and for the wicked slave punishment in the stocks. Force him to the work that he be not idle, for idleness teaches much mischief. Put him to work as a fitting for him, and if he does not obey, load him with the chains. But never load it over any human beings, and do nothing unjust. If you have but one slave, treat him like yourself, for you have acquired him with your lifeblood. If you have but one slave, deal with him as a brother, for you need him as you need your life. If you mistreat him and he runs away, in what direction will you look for him? Sirach chapter 34. Trust in the Lord and not in dreams. Empty and false are the hope of the senseless, and the dreams give wings to a fool. Like one grasping at the shadow or chasing the wind, so anyone who believes in dreams. What is seen in dreams in a reflection, the likeness of the face looking at itself. How can the unclean produce what is clean? How can the false produce what is true? Divination, omens, and dreams are unreal. When you already expect the mind fantasize.
unless they are specially sent by the Most High, do not fix your heart on them. For dreams have led many astray, and those who put their hope in them have perished. Without such deception, the law will be fulfilled, and in the mouth of the faithful is complete wisdom. A much troubled person knows many things, and one with much experience speaks sense. An inexperienced person knows little, whereas with the trouble one adds to resourcefulness. I have seen much in my troubles and learned more than I could ever say. Often I was in danger of the death, but by these experiences I was saved. Living in the spirit of those who fear the Lord, for their hope is in their Saviors. Whoever fear the Lord are afraid of nothing and are never discouraged, for He is their hope. Happy the soul that fears the Lord, in whom does he trust, and who is his support. The eyes of the Lord are upon those who love Him. He is their mighty shield and strong support. Or shelter from the heat, or shade from the noonday sun. A guard against the stumbling, a help against the fallings. He lift up the spirit, bring the sparkle to the eyes, give health and life and blessing. True worship of God. It garden good offered in sacrifice are tainted. Present from the lowliest do not win God favors. The Most High is not pleased with the gift of the godless, nor for their many sacrifice does He forgive their sins. One who slays a son in his father presents whoever offers sacrifice from the holding of the bulls. The bread of the church is life itself for the needy. Whoever withholds it is murderous. To take away a neighbor's living is to commit murder. To deny labor wages is to shed blood. If one builds up and another tears down, what do they gain but troubles? If one prays and another curses, whose voice will God hear? If one again touches the corpse after bathing, what does he gain by the purifications? So one who fasts for sins but goes and commits them again, who will hear his prayer? What is gained by mortifications? Sirach chapter 35. To keep law is to make many offerings. Whoever observes the commandment sacrifice a peace offering. By work of the charity one offers fine flowers, and the one who gives alms presents the sacrifice of praise. To refrain from the evil please the Lord, and to avoid Do not appear before the Lord empty-handed, for all that you offer is a fulfillment of the precept. The offering of the just enrich the earth, a sweet odor before the Most High. The sacrifice of the just is accepted, never to be forgotten. With a generous spirit, pay homage to the Lord, and do not spare your free will gift. With each contribution, show a cheerful countenance and pay your tithe in a spirit of joy. Give to the Most High as He has given to you, generously according to your means. For He is God who always repays and will give back to you sevenfold. But offer no bribes, these He does not accept. Do not trust in sacrifice of the fruit of the extortion, for He is a God of justice who shows no partialities. He shows no partiality to the weak, but hears the grievance of the oppressed. He does not forsake the cry of the orphan, nor the widow when she pours out her complaint. Do not the tears that stream down her cheek cry out against the one that caused them to afford. Those who serve God to please Him are accepted. Their petition reaches the cloud. The prayer of the lowly pierces the cloud. It does not rest till it reaches its goals.
nor will withdraw till the Most High responds. Judges justly and affirm the right. God indeed will not delay, and like a warrior will not be still, till he break the backs of the merciless, and wreak vengeance upon the nation, till he destroy the scepter of the proud, and cut off the step of the wicked. Till he requires everyone according to their deeds, and repay them according to their thought. Till he defends the cause of his people, and makes them glad by his salvations. Welcome is his mercy in the time of the distress, as rain clouds in the time of the drought. In Sirach chapter 36, a prayer for God's peoples. Come to our aid, O God of the universe, and put all the nations in dread of you. Raise your hand against the foreign people, that they may see your mighty deeds. As you have used us to show them your holiness, so now use them to show us your glories. Thus they will know, as we know, that there is no God but you. Give new sign and work new wonders. Show forth the splendor of your right hand and arm. Allows your anger, pour out wrath. Humble the enemy, scatter the foe, hasten the ending, appoint the time, and let people proclaim your mighty deeds. Let raging fire consume the fugitive, and your people oppressed meet the destruction. Crush the head of the hostile rulers who say, there is no one beside me. Gather all the tribe of the Jacob, that they may inherit the land as in days of the old. Show mercy to the people called by your name, Israel, whom you named your firstborn. Take pity on your holy city, Jerusalem, your dwelling place. Fill Zion with your majesty, your temple with your glories. Give evidence of your deed of old, fulfill the prophesied spoken in your name. Reward those who have hoped in you, and let your prophet be proved truth. Hear the prayer of your servant according to your good will toward your people. Thus all the end of the earth will know that you are eternal God. Treasure of associate. The throat can swallow any food, yet some food are more agreeable than others. The palate tests delicacy put forward as a gift, so does a keen mind test deceitful tidbits. One needs a torturous heart to bring about grief, but an experienced person can turn the tables on him. A woman will accept any man as a husband, but one woman will be preferable to another. A woman's beauty makes her husband the face right up, for it surpasses all else that delight the eyes. And if beside her speech is soothing, her husband's wrath is beyond that of the mortal man. A wife is her husband's richest treasure, a helper like himself and the staunchest support. A vineyard with no hedge will be overrun, and a man who no wife becomes a homeless wanderer. Who will trust an armed band that shifts from the city to cities, or a man who has no nest, who watches wherever night overtakes him? Sirach chapter 37. Every friend declares a friendship, but there are friends who are friends in name only. Is not of the sorrow unto death when your other self becomes your enemy? Alas, my companion, why were you created to fill earth with deceit? A harmful friend will look to your table, but in time of the trouble he stands aloof. A good friend will fight with you against the foe, and against your enemy he will hold up your shield. Do not forget your comrade during the battle, and do not neglect him when you distribute your spoils. Every counselor points out the way, but some counsel weigh up their own. Watch out when one offers advice. Find out first of all what he wants. For he also may be thinking of himself, why should the opportunity fall to him? He may tell you how good your way will be and then stand by to see you impoverished. Seek no advice from your father-in-law and from one who is envious of you. Keep your intentions hidden. Seek no advice from the woman about her rival, from a coward about work, from merchant about business, from buyer about value, from miser about generosity, from a cruel person about well-being, from the worthless worker about his work, from a seasonal laborer about the harvest, from the idle slave about the great task. Pay no attention to any advice they give. Instead, associate with the religious person who you know keeps the commandment, who is like-minded with yourself and will grieve for you if you fall. Then to heed your own heart counsel, for there is nothing you can depend on more. The heart can reveal your situation better than 7 sentinels on a tower. Then with all this, pray to God to make your step firm in the true path, wisdom and temperance. A word is the source of the every deed, the thought of the every act. The root of the all conduct is the heart. For friends it should force good and evil, death and life, and their absolute mistress is the tongue. One may be wise and benefit many, yet appear foolish to himself. One may be wise, but if his words are rejected, he will be deprived of all enjoyment. When one is wise to his own advantage, the fruit of the knowledge are seen in his own person. When one is wise to the advantage of the people, the fruit of the knowledge are lasting. One wise for himself has full enjoyment, and all will see him praise him. The days of the one life are numbered, but the life of the Israel days without numbers. One wise among the people wins the heritage of glory, and his name lives on and on. My son, while you are well, govern your appetite and see that you do not allow it what is bad for you. For not everything is good for everyone, nor is everything sweet to every taste. Do not go to excess with any enjoyment, neither become glutton for choice foods. For sickness comes with overeating, and gluttony brings on nausea. Through lack of the self-control, many have died, but the abstemious one prolongs life. Sirach chapter 38, the sickness and death. Make friends with the doctor, for he is essential to you. God has also established him in his profession. From God the doctor has wisdom, and from the king he received sustenance. Knowledge makes the doctor distinguished and gives access to those in authorities. God makes the earth yield the healing herbs which the prudent should not neglect. Was not water sweetened by a twig so that all might learn his power? He endows people with knowledge to glory in his mighty works, through which the doctor eases pains, and the druggist prepares his medicine. Thus God's work continues without cease in its efficacy on the surface of the earth. My son, when you are ill, do not raise, but pray to God, for it is He who hears. Flee weakness and purify your hands, cleanse your heart of the every sin. Offer your sweet-smelling oblation and memorials, a generous offering according to your means. Then give the doctor his praise, lest he leave, you need him too. For there are times when recovery is in his hands. He too pray to God that his diagnosis may be correct, and his treatment brings about the cure. Whoever is a sinner before his maker will be defiant toward the doctors. My son shed tears for one who is dead with wailing and bitter lament. As is one only proper, prepare the body and do not absent yourself from the burials. Weeping bitterly, mourning fully, pay your tribute of the sorrow as deserved, a day or two to prevent the gossip. Then compose yourself after your griefs. For grief can bring on death, and headache can sap one's strength. When a person is carried away, sorrow is over, and the life of the poor one is grievous to the heart. Do not turn your thought to him again, cease to recall him, think rather of the end. Do not recall him, for there is no hope of his return. You do him no good, and you harm yourself. Remember that his fate will also be yours. For him it was yesterday, for you today. With the dead at rest, let memory cease. Be consoled once the spirit has gone. Vocation of the skilled worker and the scribe. The scribe wisdom increases wisdom. Whoever is free from toil can become wise. How can one become learned who guides the plow and threw in the wielding and the goad like a lance? Who guides the axe and the urge on the bullocks, and whose every concern is for cattle? His concern is plow furrows, and he is careful to fatten the livestock. So with every engrave and the designer who laboring night and days, fashion carved seals, and whose concern is to vary the pattern, his determination is to produce a lifelike impression, and he is careful to finish the work. So too the smith sitting by the anvil, intent on the iron he forges. The flame from the fire sears his flesh, yet his toils weigh in the furnace heat. The clang of the hammer deafens his ears, his eyes are on the object he is shaping. His determination is to finish the work, and he is careful to perfect it in details. So also Paul sitting at his arrival, reviving the wheel with his feet. He is always concerned for his product and turns them out in quantities. With his hand he molds the clay, and with his feet softens it. His determination is to complete the glazing, and he is careful to fire the guillons. All these are skilled with their hands, each one an expert at his own work. Without them, no city could be lived in, and wherever they say they do not go hungry, but they are not sought out for the counsel of the peoples. Nor are they prominent in the assembly. They do not sit on the judge's bench, nor can they understand the law and justice. They cannot expound the discipline or judgment, nor are they found among the rulers. Yet they maintain the fabric of the world, and their concern is for exercise of their skill. Sirach chapter 39. How different the person who devotes himself to the study of the law of the Most High. He explores the wisdom of the old ancient and is occupied with the prophecies. He preserves the discourse of the famous and goes to the heart of the involved saying. He seeks out the hidden meaning of the proverbs and is busy with the enigmas found in the parables. He is in attendance on the great and appears before rulers. He travels among the people of the foreign lands to the test what is good and evil among peoples. His care is to rise early to seek the Lord his Maker, to petition to Most High, to open his mouth in prayer, to ask pardon for his sins. If it please the Lord Almighty, he will be filled with the spirit of the understanding. He will pour forth his words of the wisdom, and in prayer give praise to the Lord. He will direct his knowledge and his counsel as he meditates upon God's mysteries. He will show the wisdom of the word he has learned, and glory in the law of the Lord confident. Many will praise his understanding. His name can never be blotted out. Unfading will be his memory. Through all generations his name will live. People will speak of his wisdom, and the assembly will declare his praise. While he lives, he is one out of the 1,000, and when he dies, he leaves a good name. Praise of God the Creator. Once more I will set forth my theme to shine like the moon in its fullness. Listen to me, my faithful children, open up your petals like a rose planted near running waters. Send up the sweet odor of the incense, break forth in blossom like the lilies. Raise your voice in chorus of praise, bless the Lord for all his works. Proclaim the greatness of his name, loudly sing his praise, with music on the harp and all strings the instrument. Sing out with joy as you proclaim. The work of God are all of them good. He supplies for every need in its own time. At his word, the water becomes still as in a flask. He had but to speak, and the reservoirs were made. He has but to command, and his will is done. Nothing can limit his saving actions. The work of all humankind are present to him. Nothing is hidden from his eyes. His gaze spans all the ages. Is there any limit to his saving actions? To him, nothing is small or insignificant, and nothing too wonderful or hard for him. No cause then to say, what is the purpose of this? Everything is chosen to satisfy a need. His blessing overflows like a Nile, like the Euphrates, it enriches the surface of the earth. Even so, his rest dispossesses the nation and turns a fertile land into a salt marsh. For the virtuous, his paths are level; to the haughty, they are clogged with stone. Good things for the good he provided from the beginning, but for the wicked good things and bad. Chief of all these for human life are water and fire, iron and salt, the heart of the heat, milk and honey, the blood of the grape and oil and the clothing. For the good all these are good, but for the wicked they are turned out evils. There are storm winds created to the punish. In their fury they can dislodge mountains. In a time of the destruction, they hold their force and calm the anger of their makers. Fire and hail, famine and disease, these two were created for punishment. Ravenous beasts, the scorpion, vipers, and the avenging sword to exterminate the wicked. All these were created to meet the need and are kept in his storehouse for the proper time. When he commands them, they rejoice in their assigned task. They do not disobey his command. That is why from the first I took my stand and wrote down as my themes. The work of God are all of them good. He supplies for every need in its own times. There is no cause then to say this is not as good as that, for it showed its worth at proper time. So now with the full heart and voice proclaim and bless his name. Sirach chapter 14, Joy and the Misery of Life. A great anxiety has got allotted and have yoked to the children of the Adam, from the day they leave their mother's womb until the day they return to the mother of the older living. Troubled thought and the fear of the heart are theirs, are anxious foreboding until death. Whether one sit on the lofty throne or grovel in dust and ashes, whether one wears a splendid crown or is clothed in the coarsest of garments. There is a rest and envy, trouble and dread, the terror of the death, fury and strife. Even when one lies on his bed to rest, his cares disturb his sleep at night. So short is his rest, it seems like none, till in his dreams he struggled as he did by days. Troubled by the vision of his mind, like a fugitive fleeing from pursuers. As he reaches safety, he wakes astonished that there was nothing to fear. To all flesh, human being and beast, but for sinners 7 times more. Complex and bloodshed, fiery heat and drought, blood and ruin, famine and death. For the wicked evil was created, and because of them destruction hastens. All that is of earth returns to earth, and what is from above returns above. All that comes from the bribes or injustice will be wiped out, but loyalty remains forever. Wealth from injustice is like a flooding wadi, like a mighty stream with lightning and thunders, which it rising roars along the stone, but suddenly once and for all comes to an end. The offshoot of the violence will not flourish, for the root of the gatherers is on sure lax. They are like leaves on the river banks, with red before all other plants. But goodness like eternity will never be cut out, and righteousness endures forever. Wealth or ways can make life sweet, but better than either finding a treasures. A child or city will preserve one's name, but better than either finding wisdom. Cattle and orchard make a person flourish, but better than either a devoted wife. Wine and strong drink delight the soul, but better than either love of the friends. Flute and harp offer sweet melody, but better than either a poor tongues. Grace and beauty delight the eye, but better than either the produce of the fairs. A friend and a neighbor are timely guide, but better than either a sensible wife. A relative and a helper from time of the stress, but better than either charity that rescues. Gold and silver make one's way secure, but better than either sound judgment. Wealth and vigor make the heart exalt, but better than either fear of God. In the fear of the Lord there is no want, whoever has it needs seek to no other support. The fear of God is a paradise of the blessing, its canopy is over all that is glorious. My son, do not live the life of the beggar, better to die than to beg. When one has to look to a stranger table, life is not worth living. The delicacies offered bring diversion of the spirit, and to the intelligent the inward tortures. In the mouth of the shameless, begging is sweet, but within him it burns like fire.
Sirach, chapter 41. Oh, that's how bitter is the thought of the year for the one at peace in his home, for the one who is the serene and always successful, who can still enjoy life's pleasures. Oh, that's how welcome is your sentence to the weak or failing in strength, stumbling and tripping on everything, with sight gone and hope lost. Do not fear death's decree for you. Remember, it embraced those before you and those to come. This decree for all flesh is from God. Why then should you reject the law of the Most High? Whether one has lived 1,000 years, 100 or 10, in Sheol there are no argument about life. The children of the sinner are a reprobate line, and the victorious offspring are in the home of the wicked. The inheritance of the children of the sinners will perish, and on their offspring will be perpetual disgrace. Children curse their wicked father, for they suffer disgrace because of him. What to you, O wicked people, who forsake the law of the Most High? If you have children, calamity will be theirs, and if you beget them, it will be only for groanings. When you stumble, there is a lasting joy, and when you die, you become a curse. All that is not return to naught, so too the gatherings are from void to void. The human body is a fleeting thing, but a virtuous name will never be annihilated. Have respect for your name, for it will stand by you more than thousands of the precious treasures. The good things of the life will last a number of the days, but the good name for days without numbers. True and the false shame. Hidden wisdom and concealed treasure of the what of value is either. The better is the person who hides his folly than the one who hides his wisdom. My children, listen to instruction about the shame, judge of the disgrace according to my rules. Not every kind of the shame is shameful, nor is every kind of the disgrace to be recognized. Before father and mother, be ashamed of the immoralities, before friends and the ruler of falsehood. Before master and the mistress of deceit, before the public assembly of crime, before associate and the friend of disloyalties, and in the place where you settle of debt, be ashamed of the breaking an oath or covenant, and of stretching your elbow at dinners, of refusing to give when asked, of revolting your own relatives, of defrauding another of his appointed shores, of failing to return a greeting, of gazing at man's wife, of entertaining thought about another woman, of trifling with the servant girl you have, of violating her bed, of using harsh words with the friends, of the following of your gift with insults. Sirach chapter 42. Of repeating what you hear, of betraying any secret, be ashamed of the right things, and you will find the favor in the sight of the all. But of these things do not be ashamed, lest you sin to save face. Of the law of the Most High and His precept, of justice that acquit the ungodly, of showing the expenses of a business or a journey, of dividing an inheritance or properties, of accuracy of the scale and the balance, of the tested measure and the weight, of the acquiring much or little, of bargaining in dealing into a merchant, of constant training of the children, of beating the side of the wicked servant, of a seal to keep a foolish wife at home, of a key where there are many hands, of numbering every deposit, of the recording all that is taken in and given out, of chastisement for the silly and the foolish, for the aged and the infirm, answering for wanton conduct. Thus you will be truly refined and recognized by all as discreet. A father cares for his daughters. A daughter is a treasure that keeps her father wakeful, and the worry over her drives away sleeps. Lest in her youth she remain unmarried, and when she is married, lest she be childless. While unmarried, lest she be defiled, or in her husband's house, lest she prove unfaithful. Lest she became pregnant in her father's house, or be sterile in that of her husband. My son, keep a close watch on your daughter, lest she make your laughing stock for your enemies. A byword in the city and the assembly of the people, an object of the derision in public gatherings. See that there is no lattice in her room or spot that overlooks the approach to the house. Do not let her reveal her beauty to any man, and spend her time with married women. For just as most come from garment, so a woman's weakness comes from a woman. Better a woman harshness than a woman's indulgence, a frightened daughter than any disgrace. The work of the God in natures. Now when I record God's works, what I have seen, I will describe. By the Lord's words, His work were brought into being. He accepted the one who does His will. As the shining sun is clear to all, so the glory of the Lord fails all His works. Yet even God's holy ones must fail in recounting the wonders of the Lord. Though God has given His host the strength to stand firm before His glories, He searches out the abyss and penetrates the heart. Their secret He understands. For the Most High possesses all knowledge and sees from of all the things that are to come. He makes known the past and the future and reveals the deepest secrets. He lacks no understanding, no single thing escapes Him. He regulated the mighty deeds of His wisdom. He is from all eternity one and the same. With nothing added, nothing taken away, no need of the counselor for Him. How beautiful are all His works, delightful to gaze upon and a joy to behold. Everything lives and abides forever, and to meet its need all things are preserved. All of them differ one from another, yet none of them has He made in vain. For each in turn as it comes is good. Can one ever see enough of their splendor? Sirach chapter 43. The beauty of the celestial height and the pure firmament. Heaven itself manifests its glories. The sun at its rising shines at its fullest, a wonderful instrument, the work of the Most High. At noon it scorches the earth, and who can bear it fiery heat? Like a blazing furnace of the solid metal, the sun rays set the mountain aflame. Its fiery tongues consume the world. The eyes are burned by its fire. Great indeed is the Lord who made it, at whose orders it urges on its steeds. It is the moon that marks the changing season, governing the time, their lasting sign. By it we know the sacred season and the pilgrimage feast, a rite which wanes in its course. The new moon, like its name, renews itself. How wondrous it when it changes. A military signal for the water skin on high, it paves the firmament with its brilliance. The beauty of the heavens and the glory of the stars, the shining ornament in the height of the God. By the Lord's command, the moon keeps its appointed place, and does not fade as the stars keep watch. Behold, the rainbow then bright its maker, for majestic indeed is its splendor. It spanned the heaven with its glory. The hand of the God had stretched it out in power. His rebuke marks out the path for the hair and makes the flash of His judgment shine forth. For His own purpose, He opens the storehouse and makes the rain cloud fly like vultures. He might gives the cloud their strength and breaks out the hailstones. The thunder of His voice makes the earth ride. By His power He shakes the mountains. A word from Him drives on the south wind, the whirlwind, the hurricane, and the storm wind. He makes the snow fly like birds. It settles down like swarms of the locust. Its shining whiteness blind the eyes. The mind marvels at its steady force. He scatters frost like a sword. It shines like a blossom on the thorn bush. He sends a cold northern blast that hardens the pond like a solid ground. Spread across over a very body of the water and clothe each pool with the coat of the armors. When mountain growth is scorched by heat and the flowering plains as by fire. A drifting cloud restored them all, and the scattered dew or enriched the parched land. He is the plant that calms the deep and plants the island in the sea. Those who go down to the sea recount its extent, and when he hears them, we are thunderstruck. In it is created stupendous, amazing, all kinds of the life and the monster of the deep. For him each messenger succeed, and at his bidding accomplish his will. More than this we need not add, let the rest of the world be, he is the all. Let us praise him the more, since we cannot fathom him, for great is he than all his works. Awesome indeed is the Lord, and wonderful his power. Lift up your voice to glorify the Lord as much as you can, for there is still more. Extol him with renewed strength, do not grow weary, for you cannot fathom him. For who has seen him and can describe him? Who can praise him as he is? Beyond these many things lie hidden, only a few his works have I seen. It is the Lord who has made all things. To those who fear him, he gives wisdom. Sirach chapter 44. Praise of the Israel great ancestors. I love praise the godly our ancestors in their own time. The abounding glory of the Most High is a portion, his own part since the days of the old. Subduer of the land is kingly of fashion, renowned for their might, the counselor in their prudence, seers of all things in prophesy. Resolute the prince of the flock, lawgiver and their rules, sagacious skill in the composition, author of the sharp proverbs. Composer of the melodious psalms, writer of the lyric poems. Stalwart, solitary, established at peace in their own estate. All these were glorious in their time, illustrious in their days. Some of them left behind the name so that people recount their praise. Of others no memory remains, for when they perished, as if they have never lived, they and their children after them. Yet these also were godly, their virtue have not been forgotten. Their wealth remains in their families, their heritage with their descendants. Through God's covenant their family endures, and their offspring for their sake. And for all time their progeny will endure, their glory will never be blotted out. Their bodies are buried in peace, but their name lives on and on. At gathering their wisdom is retold, and the assembly proclaims their praise. The early ancestors. And Enoch walked with the Lord and was taken, that succeeding generation might run by his example. Noah found just and perfect, renewed the race in the time of the devastation. Because of his words there was survivors, and with the sign to him the deluge ended. A lasting covenant was made with him that never again would all flesh be destroyed. Abraham, father of the many peoples, kept his glory without stains. He observed the Most High's command and entered into a covenant with him. In his own flesh he inside the ordinance, and when tested was found loyal. For this reason God promised him with an oath to bless the nation through his descendant, to make him numerous as a grain of dust, and to exalt his posterity like the stars, giving them an inheritance from sea to sea and from the river to ends of the earth. From Isaac too he renewed the same promise because of Abraham his father. The covenant with all his forebears was confirmed. And the blessing rested upon the head of the Israel. God acknowledged him as a firstborn and gave him his inheritance. He fixed the boundaries for his tribes and their division into 12.
Sirach chapter 45. Praise of the Moses, Aaron, and Phinehas. From him came the man who would win the favor of all the living, dear to God and human beings, Moses, whose memory is a blessing. God made him like the angels in honor and strengthened him with fearful powers. At his words, God performed the sign and sustained him in presence. He gave him the commandment for his people and revealed to him his glories. Because of his trustworthiness and meekness, God selected him from all flesh. He let him hear his voice and led him into the cloud, where he handed over the commandment, the law of the life and understanding, that he might teach his precept to Jacob, his judgment and decrees to Israel. He also raised up like Moses in holiness his brother Aaron of the tribe of the Levi. He made his office perpetual and bestowed on him priesthood for his people. He established him in honor and crowned him with lofty majesty. He clothed him in splendid garment and adorned him with glorious vestment, breeches, tunic, and robe. With a pomegranate at the hem and the rustle of the bells round about, whose pleasing sound at each step would make him heard within the sanctuary or reminder for the peoples. The sacred vestment of the gold, the violet, and the crimson worked with the embroideries. The breastpiece for decision, the ephod, and the cinctures. With the scarlet on the work of the river, precious stone with the seal engravings, in golden setting the work of the jewelers. The commemorate in incised letters each of the tribe of the Israel. On his turban a diadem of gold, each braid engraved with the sacred inscription. Majestic, glorious, renowned for the splendor, a delight to the eyes, supremely beautiful. Before him no one had been adorned with these, nor may they ever be worn by any others, except his son and them alone, generation after generation for all time. His grain offering is holy burnt as an established offering twice each day. For Moses ordained him and anointed him with the holy oil in a lasting covenant with him and his families, as permanent as the heavens, that he should serve God in the priesthood and bless the people in his name. He chose him from all the living to sacrifice burnt offering and choice portions, to burn incense, sweet odor as memorials, and to atone for the people of the Israel. He gave to him the law and authority to the prescribe and the judge, to teach the precept to the people and judgment to the Israelites. Strangers rose in anger against him, grew jealous of him in the desert, the follower of the Dathan and the Abiram, and the band of the Korah in their defiance. When the Lord saw this, he became angry and destroyed them in his burning lust. He brought against them a marvel and consumed them in flaming fires. Then he increased the glory of the Aaron and bestowed upon him his inheritance, the sacred offering he allotted to him with the showbread as his portion. The oblation of the Lord are in his food, a gift to him and his descendants. But he hold no land among the people, nor shares with them their heritage. For the Lord himself is his portion and inheritance among the Israelites. Phinehas to the son of Elijah was the courageous steward of his line. When jealous for the God of all, he met the Christ of his people, and at the putting of his noble heart, atoned for the children of the Israel. Therefore on him also God conferred the right in the covenant of the friendship to provide for the sanctuary,
so that he and his descendants should possess the high priesthood forever. For even his covenant with David, the son of Jesse of the tribe of Judah, was the individual heritage through one son alone. But the heritage of the Aaron is for all his descendants. So now bless the Lord who has crowned you with glory. May He grant you wisdom of heart to govern His people in justice, lest the benefit you confer should be forgotten, while your authority throughout all time. Sirach chapter 46, Joshua, Caleb, the judge, and Samuel. Valiant warrior was Joshua, son of Nun, aided to Moses in the prophetic office. Formed to be, as his name implies, the great Savior of the God chosen ones to punish the enemy and to give to Israel their heritages. What glory was his when he raised his hand to brandish his sword against the city? Who could withstand him when he fought the battle of the Lord? Was it not by that same hand the sun stopped, so that one day became two? He called upon the Most High when his enemy beset him on all sides, and God Most High answered him with the hailstorm of the tremendous power that rained down upon the hostile army till on the slope he destroyed the foe, that all the doomed nation might know the Lord was watching over his people's battles. He was indeed a devoted follower of the God, and showed himself loyal in Moses' lifetime, he and the Caleb son of the Jephunneh. When they opposed the rebel assembly, averted God's anger from the people, and suppressed the wicked complaint. Because of this, these two alone were spared from the 600,000 infantry to lead the people into the heritage, the land flowing with milk and honey. The strength God gave to Caleb remained with him even in old age, till he won his way onto the summit of the land, his family to receive the heritages. That all the offspring of Jacob might know how good it is to be a devoted follower of the Lord. The judges, each one of them whose heart was not deceived, who did not abandon God, may their memory be ever blessed. May their bones flourish with new life where they lie, and their name receive the flesh roast in their children. Beloved of his people, dear to his Maker, pledged in a vow from his mother's womb, as one consecrated to the Lord in the prophetic office, was Samuel the judge who offered the sacrifice. At God's word, he established the kingdom and anointed prince to rule the peoples. By the law of the Lord, he judged the congregation and visited the encampment of Jacob. As a trustworthy prophet, he was sought out, and his words proved him to be a true seer. He took call upon the mighty Lord when his enemy pressed him on every side, and offered up the suckling lamb. Then the Lord thundered from heaven, and the tremendous roar of his voice was heard. He brought low the rule of the enemy and destroyed all the laws of the Philistines. When Samuel neared the end of the life, he testified before the Lord and his anointed prince. No bribe or secret gift have I taken from anyone, and no one could accuse him. Even after death, his guidance was sought. He made known to king his fate. From the grave he spoke in prophecy to put an end to the wickedness. Sirach chapter 47, Nathan, David, and Solomon. After him came Nathan, who served in David's presence. Like the choice of fat of the sacred offering, so was David in Israel. He played with the lion as though they were young goats, and with the bears like lambs of the flocks. As a youth, he struck down the giant and wiped out the people's disgrace. His hand let fly the sling stone that shattered the pride of the Goliath. For he had called upon the Most High, who gave strength to his right arm, to defeat the skilled warrior and establish the might of his peoples. Therefore the woman sang his praise and honored him for the tens of the thousands. When he received the royal crown, he battled and subdued the enemy on every side. He campaigned against the hostile Philistines and shattered their power till our own days. With his every deed, he offered thanks to God Most High in words of the praise. With his whole heart, he loved his Maker, and daily had his praise sung. He added beauty to the feast and solemnized the season of each year with string music before the altar, providing sweet melody for the psalms, so that when the holy name was praised before daybreak, the sanctuary would resound. The Lord forgave him his sin and exalted his strength forever. He conferred on him the right of the royalty and established his throne in Israel. Because of his merit, he had a successor, a wise son who lived in security. Solomon reigned during an era of the peace, for God brought the rest of all his borders. He built a house to the name of the God and established a lasting sanctuary. How wise you were when you were young, overflowing with instruction like the Nile in floods. Your understanding covered the whole earth, and like a sea, filled it with knowledge. Your fame reached the distant coast, and you were beloved for your peaceful reign. With song and proverb and riddle, and with your answers, you astounded the nations. You were called by the glorious name which were conferred upon Israel. Gold you gather like so much iron. You heap up the silver as though it were lead. But you abandoned yourself to women and gave them dominion over your bodies. You brought the stain upon your glory, shame upon your marriage bed, rest upon your descendant, and the growing upon your deathbed. Thus two government came into being when in Ephraim kingship was usurped. But God does not withdraw his mercy, nor permit even one of his promise to fail. He does not uproot the posterity of the chosen, nor destroy the offspring of his friends. So he gave to Jacob a remnant, to David a root from his own families. Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Solomon finally slept with his ancestor and left behind him one of his sons, broad in folly, narrow in sense, whose palace made the people rebel. Then arose the one who should not be remembered, the sinner who led Israel into sin, who brought the ruin to Ephraim, and caused them to be exiled from their land, Elijah and Elisha. Their sinfulness grew more and more and more, and they gave themselves to every evil. Sirach chapter 48. Until like fire, prophet appeared, his words of flame furnace. The step of life, their bread he shattered, and in his zeal he made them few in numbers. By God's word he shut up the heaven, and 3 times brought down fires. How awesome are you, Elias, whose glory is equal to yours. You brought the dead body back to life from Sheol by the will of the Lord. You sent kings down to the destruction, and the nobles from their beds of the sickness. You heard the threat at the Sinai, at the Horeb, avenging judgments. You anointed the agent of the deeds punishment, the prophet to succeed in your place. You were taken aloft in the whirlwind, in a chariot with fiery horses. You are destined, it is written in time to come, to put an end to rest before the day of the Lord, to turn back the heart of the parents toward their children, and to release the blessed the tribes of the Israel. Blessed is the one who shall have seen you before he dies. When Elijah was enveloped in the whirlwind, Elisha was filled with his spirit. He worked twice as many marvels, and every utterance of his mouth was wonderful. During his lifetime he fears no one, nor was anyone able to intimidate his will. Nothing was beyond his power, and from where he lay buried his body prophesied. In life he performed wonders, and after death marvelous deeds. Despite all this, the people did not repent, nor did they give up their sins until they were uprooted from their land and scattered all over the earth. Judah. But Judah remained a tiny people with its ruler from the house of David. Some of them did what was right, but others were extremely sinful. Hezekiah and Isaiah. Hezekiah fortified his city and had water brought into it. With bronze tools he cut through the rocks and dammed up the mountainside for walls. During his reign, Sennacherib led an invasion and sent his adjutants. He shook his fist at Zion and blasphemed God in his pride. The people's heart melted with them, and they were in anguish like that of childbirth. But they called upon the Most God and lifted up their hands to him. He heard the prayer they uttered and saved them through Isaiah. God struck the camp of the Assyrian and routed them with plagues. For Hezekiah did what was right and held fast the path of David, as ordered by the illustrious prophet Isaiah, who saw truth in visions. In his lifetime he turned back the sun and prolonged the life of the king. By his powerful spirit he looked into the future and consoled the mourners of Zion. He foretold what would happen till the end of time, hidden things yet to be fulfilled. Sirach chapter 49, Joshua and the prophet. The name Joshua is like a blended incense made lasting by skilled perfumers. Precious is his memory like honey to the taste, like music at the banquet. For he grieved over all betrayers and destroyed the abominable idols. He kept his heart fixed on God, and in times of lawlessness practiced virtues. Except for David, Hezekiah, and Joshua, they all were wicked. They abandoned the law of the Most High, distinct kings of the Judah, right to the very end. So he gave over their power to others, their glory to the foreign nations, who burned the holy city and left its street desolate. As foretold by Jeremiah, they mistreated him who even in the womb had been made a prophet, to root out, pull down, and destroy, and then to build and to plant. Ezekiel beheld a vision and described the different creation of the chariot. He also referred to Job, who always preserved in the right path. Then to the 12 prophets, may their bones flourish with new life where they lie. They gave new strength to Jacob and saved him with steadfast hope. The heroes after the exile. How to extol the Zerubbabel's, how was like a signet ring on the right hand, and Joshua, Jozadak's son. In their time they rebuilt the altar and erected the holy temple, destined for everlasting glories. Exalted be the memory of the Nehemiah. He rebuilt our ruined walls, restored our shattered defenses,
and set up gate and bars. Always the patriarchs. Few on earth have been created like Enoch. He also was taken up by the list. Was ever man born like Joseph? Even his dead body was provided for. Glories too were Shem and Seth and Enosh. But beyond that of the living being was the spread of the Adams. Sirach chapter 50. Simeon, son of the Jochannans. Greatest of his family, the glory of his people, was Simeon, the priest, the son of the Jochannans, in whose time the house of the God was renovated, in whose days the temple was reinforced. In his time also a retaining wall was built with powerful turret for the temple precinct. In his time the reservoir was dug, a pool as vast as the sea. He protected the people against the brigand and strengthened the city against the enemies. How splendid he was as he looked out from the tent, as she came from behind the veil. Like a star shining among the clouds, like the full moon at the festal season, like the sun shining upon the temple of the king, like a rainbow appearing in the cloudy sky. Like a blossom on the branch in the springtime, like a lily by running waters, like a green shoot on the Lebanon in summer. Like the fire of the incense at the sacrifice, like a vessel of the emerald gold, studded with all kinds of the precious stones. Like a luxuriant olive tree heavy with a fruit, a plant with branches abounding in oils. Wearing his glorious robes and vested in the sublime magnificence, as he ascended the glorious altar and landed majestic on the court of the sanctuaries. When he received the portion from the priest while he stood before the sacrificial wood, his sons stood around him like a garland, like young cedars on Lebanon, and like poplars by the brook they surround him. All the sons of the Aaron in their glory, with the offering to the Lord in their hands, in the presence of the whole assembly of Israel. Once he had completed the service at the altar and arranged the sacrificial horse for the Most High, and had stretched forth his hand for the cup to offer blood of the grapes, and pour it out at the foot of the altar, a sweet-smelling odor to God the Most High. Then the sons of the Aaron would sound the blast, the priest on their trumpet of the beaten metals, a blast to the resound the mitres as a reminder before the Most High. All the people with one accord would fall with their face to the ground in adoration before the Most High, before the Holy One of Israel. Then hymns would re-echo, and over the throne sweet strain of the praise resound. All the people of the land would shout for joy, praying to the most merciful one. As a high priest completed the service at the altar by presenting to God the fitting sacrifice. Then coming down, he would raise his hands over all the congregation of Israel. The blessing of the Lord would be upon his lips, the name of the Lord would be his glories. The people would again fall down to receive the blessing of the Most High. And now bless the God of all, who has done wonders on earth, who first grows from the womb, fashioning it according to his will. May he grant you a wise heart and abide with you in peace. May his goodness toward Simeon last forever. May he fulfill for him the covenant with Phinehas, so that it may not be abrogated for him or his descendant while the heaven lasts. Epilogue. My whole being allowed to nation, the truth is not even a people, the inhabitant of the Seir and the Philistine, and the foolish people who dwell in Shechem. Wise instruction appropriate the proverbs I've read in this book. Yeshua ben Eliza ben Sirach, as they pour the force from my heart the understanding. Happy those who meditate upon these things, wise those who take them to heart. If they put them into practice, they can cope with anything, for the fear of the Lord is their lamp. Sirach chapter 51. A prayer of the thanksgiving. I give you thanks, Lord and King. I praise you, God my Savior. I declare your name, refuge of my life. Because you have ransomed my life from death, you held back my body from the pit and delivered my foot from the power of the Sheol. You have preserved me from the scourge of the slanderous tongue and from the lip of those who went over to the falsehood. You are with me against those who rise up against me. You have rescued me according to your abundant mercy from the snare of those who look for my downfalls, and from the power of those who seek my life. From many dangers you have saved me. From flames that beset me on every side, from the midst of fire, till there was not a whiff of it. From the deep valley of the Sheol, from deceiving lips and the painters of lies. From the arrow of the treacherous tongue, I was at the point of the death. My life was nearing the depths of the Sheol. I turned every way, but there was no one to help. I looked for support, but there was none. Then I remembered the mercy of the Lord, his act of the kindness through age past. For he saved those who take refuge in him and rescued them from every evil. So I raised my voice from the grave, from the gate of the Sheol I cried for help. I called out, Lord, you are my Father, my champion, my Savior. Do not abandon me in time of the trouble, in the midst of the storm and dangers. I always praise your name and remember you in prayer. Then the Lord heard my voice and listened to my affairs. He saved me from every evil and preserved me in time of the trouble. For this reason I thank and praise him. I bless the name of the Lord. Ben Sirach, pursuit of the wisdom. When I was young and innocent, I sought wisdom. She came to me in her beauty, and until the end I will cultivate her. As the blossom yield to the ripening grapes, the heart joyed. My feet kept to the level path, because from the earliest youth I was familiar with her. In the short time I paid heed, I met with great instruction. Since in this way I've profited, I will give my teacher grateful praise. I resolve to tread her paths. I have been zealous for the good and will not turn back. I burned with the desire for her, never relenting. I became preoccupied. I spread out my hand to the heavens, and I came to know her secrets. For her I purified my hands, in cleanness I attained to her. At first acquaintance with her I gained understanding, such that I will never forsake her. My whole being was stirred to seek her, therefore I made her my prized possession. The Lord has rewarded me with lips, with a tongue for praising him. Come aside to me, you untutored, and take up blessing in the house of the instruction. How long will you deprive yourself of the wisdom food? How long endure such bitter thirst? I open my mouth and speak over, gain wisdom for yourself at no cost. Take her yoke upon your neck, that your mind may receive her teaching. For she is close to those who seek her, and the one who is the honest finds her. See for yourselves, I have labored only a little, but have found much. Acquire but a little instruction, and you will win silver and gold through hers. May your soul rejoice in God's mercy. Do not be ashamed to give him praise. Work at your tasks in due season, and in its own time, God will give you your reward.